By the way, Zoms is watching the match. Zoms. There's a JFT Val? Yes, and we're currently over in Jakarta, representing OCE. Can you put a photo of Long's face on the screen? Jeez. That's good. Get the dogs! Look, Michaela, I'm gonna be honest, I just woke up, just to stream this, and, I'm kind of awake, over in Jakarta, representing OCE. But gonna be can you put real honest? I don't know what I'm doing here. Hello, Nata dog. I just woke up, ladies. Don't get too into it. You should queue Val with me. I don't know if that's if that should happen. You're really cute. Oh, thank you, Tubbs. I think your name matches me, actually. Alright, I gotta read both chats. This is weird now. I usually can't multitask, but hello, Jason. I know I'm not late, actually. I might have been late. I don't know. The boys got this. Sice and Ali joining. I don't know. I think Sice is definitely busy, but is that because you're tubby? Yes. Can you explain how the game format works? So, you know Fortnite? It's nothing like that. Oh, there you go. Can you focus on Twitch, please, Jay? Look, there's too much going on here. Visor, guess what? You were in the wheel yesterday. Oh my god, the chat is actually... How to create it? Chels, how do you do this stuff? Hello, Chels. Hello, wifey. Is the VCT got Masters qualification? Is this... Yes. Play Among Us. Code. Fuck. Stop. Was I? Did I win? Well, you're on the board for the final. Where's Telly? He was on the stream yesterday after we won. So that was cool. What do you need, Hubs? I just need help in life. Hello, Night Jelly. Hello, Red Wolf. Thank you guys for coming into the YouTube. We need that popping too. So if we can go from the Twitch to the YouTube, like the YouTube, and then come back if you want, because this has less delay. I know that, and I know that delay is annoying over here. Hello, Blinks. How are you? When do the games start? They're meant to be starting in 6 minutes. Can you hear me all good? Like, I have this turned down at the moment, but can you hear me? Telly would explain it to me, no questions. Yes, I explained it to you. You just asked me. Now you're muted. Damn, how do I fix that? This is one of the smaller VCTs, yes.
Again, he's known to be clutch in the PHC.
Yeah, okay, so we're just changing to Twitch, are we? Unfollowing after. Oh, it's Jason. Okay. Hello, Skib. Oh, well, Matt. I remember you. Oh, how finals and stuff work. Well, there's a bracket system. Let's pull up the bracket. I can help with stuff like that. Yeah. No one DM me on Twitter.
Showing truly Kazakhstan stars in the making within the South Asian roster.
This game will be off its chops? I really hope so. Never played Val, give me 2 minutes. 2 minute explanation on how it works. Look. 5v5. First person shooter. There you go. Have we not like shared anything?
Yeah, but just didn't know what hit them. And Persia
Nope.
right now, 5th highest rated player overall with the most rounds played, 46% clutch rate with 6 clutches so far in this tournament. He knows how to close things out. But we got, of course, a new match.
That's the wheel, by the way, guys. I'll go through the bingo in a sec.
JFT. And this is actually, I would say that this is a bit of an unexpected matchup.
That's all you can expect from me.
I definitely like it. It is going to be very.
Did someone say ramen is fucking hot? Because I can vouch that.
Full sense, and JFT was like looking like a team team that was very much in sync. That's going to be a big test for them going up against Full Sense.
Hello, Melvin.
Because Full Sense have been playing together for years already. How
When's your festival players going on stream? What the fuck is that?
That's a great point there, Mika.
Rudy! Followage.
Rapid lo-fi, right? And they were able to dominate.
I don't know.
But Full Sense is a completely different beast. This is a team full of experience. This is a team with
JFT on
veterans.
top.
This is a team
100.
that has made their
Look at
way
him.
to
Oof.
tier 1 with some of the
Turning it
players
up a
in
little
boxing
bit.
and
Let me
Sushi
get
Boys
that
and
bracket
Ramen Murzakiss, Andy and Ikana. I was talking to Konki Komodo a while ago, and truthfully, a lot of these players, this is their first time this year to be in the
Look at
VCT
Kiss.
circuit.
He's so
JFT
fucking cute.
really making a splash, especially with the results that we saw in split number 2. But Mika, the head-to-head, we just had to do it, right? We look at which dish you want to have here between these two players.
Between
you're
sushi and
making me
ramen. That is
hungry. It's
hilarious.
about that time in our time zone, right? Oh, I guess I'm having Japanese for lunch. I'm ordering in some either some ramen or some sushi. This is a very goated head-to-head. Thank you for that, by the way, Dax. But it also is, because ramen hasn't had that big moment just yet, right? Could it be just because the rest of his teammates were too fast, too furious?
Hello,
last time?
K-Muzz.
But it's
Hello,
Full Sense
Conda.
now. It's Sushi Boys. It's a tall order of sushi with some really spicy wasabi.
Am I ready for the wedding?
Like,
Oh,
we couldn't
fuck.
bring it
I
to
don't know.
Japan, but
Yes.
I guess we're bringing the cuisine here to
he's
Indonesia,
coming
right?
over
And
is
Sushi
so
Boys
hot.
exceptional within that icebox map. Big reason why they're on those overtimes
More
with
ads.
those 3Ks. Ramen, on
What
the
ads?
other hand, I'm really impressed with his stats from what we saw in that JFT versus Rapid Lo-Fi matchup.
Bye, Mick.
Highest rated player right now, highest KDA, second highest clutch rate, and that push onto Waterfall where he was on that seaside. Those are the moments where you realize that there are players on JFT that have good heads on their
Yeah, you
shoulders,
can
and I
join
think
the voice
really
chat
Ramen is one of
if
them to
you
be
know
that
how
cool,
to help
calm
me
mind to
calm
allow
Val.
JFT perhaps to
Sure.
adjust a little bit more once Full Sense does shock them with a bit of that experience that the Thai roster has under
What
the
is the
belt.
tournament for?
Well, you mentioned it earlier, right? JFT
is
is made up of
VCT
players
Ascension
that
Pacific.
this is the first time, this is their biggest break, first time on a stage like this. Whereas you have Full Sense that, again, I keep bringing it up. You have more than half of the team that has already made it to Valorant Champions, right? And the team itself has as well. So, I don't know. Going into this match, I really do have to favor Full Sense as, one of the favorites coming into
This is
They are
how
my personal
the
dark
bracket
horse
goes.
for this
Too
tournament.
late,
What
you've lost
about
your
you
viewers.
guys?
Too bad.
Experience is basically the best teacher, and right now,
Jay, did you
I
buy
do
the Val
agree
players
with you.
Wu
Full
Ting? If
Sense
so, I
can
am
be
a
the
Jay.
ones to try and teach
Need one.
JFT here a lesson, because we saw a few weaknesses also for JFT last time against Rapid Lo-Fi. My biggest concerns for JFT is, will they be a bit stubborn in how they want to play? We saw a lack of really rotations there, especially on that icebox map. And JFT proved that they can pack a big punch, but Full Sense, they've shown that they're a team unit. They've shown incredible
this is
synergy and just that knowledge
the
that they
Natter.
know
This is the
exactly what to
bracket.
do as individuals.
So
and
SPG
how to
went
sync
through
on up. My biggest
last
concern
night.
for Soul
I
Sense,
watched
though,
that.
and why
I thought
guess
I
Konki's
really don't
predicting for
understand who's
JFT,
like,
that
no, I'm not wearing it.
ending against
Who's
this,
favourites
guys,
and
right?
who
The run
is not
that these
favourites.
guys
I don't
had
get it.
on Icebox is concerning.
bypassed
and
around,
we
yes,
know
they're ahead.
JFT has the firepower to effectively replicate something like that coming into
If
the
they
series.
lose, they go down to the losers bracket.
You mentioned the firepower on JFT, right? So I'm wondering, because Full
So they get a
Sense
second
packs
chance.
quite a punch as well. What can they possibly bring out that
If we
Full
win,
Sense have not had to
Up to
deal
the
with yet before, right?
upper
Because,
finals,
what,
and
is it the ISO? No,
that's
Full
pretty much the
Sense have a lot
semi-final
of that
before
in
you
their
get
local
into.
challengers. I mean, you had Killua on a Made in Thailand, right? That was
Alright.
bringing that out a lot.
Also, love this chick, but I quickly have to go through bingo. She was
So,
awesome yesterday.
what
She was
is it
hyping up
going to be
JFT like
for
crazy.
I mean, yeah, and
She
it's
did
not
just
the
vote
only
against
sure
us,
they
but anyway.
handled that against this guys also. Neon, John Olsen has been on it, and I dare say between John Olsen and SPG.
Oh, yeah, Full Sense is obviously former tier 1 players and
and
everything as well.
We're
We're realistic, Jason. Don't worry about it.
Do still have that surprise factor
This is the bingo, guys. Bingo card. You're here in chat. I add you to the wheel. And then you go in the running for some prizes. Which, let me pull up the tweet.
We are going to Full Sense versus JFT. It is day 4 of VCT Ascension Jakarta, and it starts right now.
We're starting. You have a chance to win a jersey, custom, hex controller. You added to the wheel after. Yeah, I can add you to the wheel. Actually, yeah. You get Valorant points or V-Bucks. Every time something is ticked off on the bingo wheel, then a spin happens.
We have our
So keep an
first
eye out.
series of the day.
Ooh,
It
keep
is
an eye out for these.
JFT with their
Knife kill,
biggest
JFT
series
players.
today
Falling off map
up
won't happen,
against
so we're going to need
Giants
to
of Ascent,
do something
coming
else there.
from Thailand.
clutch on the defuse, overtime win, with caught on stream, 30 kills in a match.
You look at Full Sense, and each and every one of these players is capable
Holy fuck,
of
I even have 3 monitors. How do people do this?
You know they can do these multi-kills consistently.
Sup, Michael? How are you, man? Hello, Netherite.
Well, first things first, that's is that an Omen hoodie? That's so cool.
Feeling an ace today.
I was talking about Icebox right before we got into...
Hello, NJ. Did someone say V-Bucks? Wow, you just spawned when V-Bucks was mentioned. That is crazy.
Gonna be perhaps their permanent.
How do I get added?
But Ascent and Lotus for our first 2 maps, Mika. And
so I'm gonna go through and add.
It may be Full Sense and JFT's map picks, but the stats favor the other team actually on those maps.
Start typing now, please,
so picking Ascent. It's a big fundamental test to see what really JFT has to bring to the Ascension table.
That's absolutely right. And, you know, Ewok was saying the other day about how much, like, you know, the transfer of energy within the team is so important. Like, when one player clutches, there needs to be that collective surge in energy, right? Going into our agent pumps right now, is that what we're going to get for Full Sense and JFT here? Since JFT bring out the double duelist,
no, you're off the wheel now, Vaza, because you already passed through.
A little bit more default, nothing, no surprises here on Ascent, right?
Yeah.
But again, going into my point about that surge in energy, I see that with JFT, but with Full Sense, it can actually be shaky. That could be their window. Yeah,
they have strong openings, but once they get figured out, found out, it does seem to be the concern. JFT was swapping over from the Killjoy to the Cypher, and he's still sticking around with the ISO that brought them here to the Jakartan stage. So I'm really excited if they can find those picks, get these kills, and JFT will immediately
How are you?
show
I'm pretty sure I added
against
you
Full Sense that they can fundamentally match up against them, or else they're going to be losing out on this series.
No, I didn't. Michael. Why is it lagging, bro?
Well, you know, my question is, are Full Sense going to lose steam along the way? Is JFT up for this challenge? I don't think they're backing down. So let's head straight into Ascent. We're going to toss it to your casters, Honky and Komodo.
It's for a giveaway, Stealth.
Okay, there we go. All right. I was going to say, Komodo, I mentioned it before, went 0-13 in my morning warm-up game today. That means the Australians, they're winning the game. Let's get into it right now.
Oh, it's very fast from Full Sense at the moment, up too short, isn't it? But Andy on this ISO already steaming. Look at this aggression from JFT. They want to hold nothing back, Mitchell, and this is just absolutely overwhelming from them.
Great start. PTC.
On the phase roster? What do you mean?
A little bit of a roughie here for the Full Sense side to start it off. But look, you know, they've got a really strong agent composition. They've got a really strong roster. We know how they can go. But this is the thing with JFT. They need to get the door open nice and early, nice and confidently, and dive into it as best as they can and take advantage of these early rounds.
Yeah, well, they have to try and play to their strengths in this game, don't they? Because you think about what Bonkers were able to do last year, getting to the arena. That's exactly what JFT are going to be trying to do. Bonkers walk, so JFT could run. Let's see, because if they win this game, right, they get into the top 4. Same for Full Sense.
Yeah, you are now.
Last year's Earthshot didn't have the greatest showing, so they want to be able to push themselves into the final, go up against a really hot Synprisa Gaming at the moment. I'll tell you what, that game was absolutely ridiculous what they did to Boom, so I'm really keen to see what they can do later on. But massive hurdles for JFT in this series.
To make sure that you can actually win
playthrough
the
where
giveaway,
I thought that was actually going to
make
be
sure that you're in the Discord as well.
Getting Ascent, starting it off, and a confident pistol to come out from JFT already. See if they can kind of build up some great defenses. Build up a bonus round, start to find a couple of 10 minutes from Full Sense. Again, leaning on the safe.
Good start. Nice and clean here. A little bit of an awkward one there from Full Sense. I felt like that was a bit of a limp offense. You know, some of these rounds, the pistols can actually get the work done.
So we can at you, and you can prove what that your name is the person who's won.
Control of B-Orb. But that's really kind of all she wrote right now. They'll get the info off the back of the broken trip. But, yeah, I don't know, JFT, they're just playing it cool, calm, and collected. And, you know, one of the common attributes of Oceanic Valor and Komodo is the fact that we'll lose these second rounds. But they're playing it nice and calm. They're ready to go, and they're giving the side up. And the thing is, Spike's not even here. So it's A-OK, irrespective of how this goes.
I mean, some early collaboration from them as well, right? You're looking at this scenario and literally all 5 of them are just hugging each other. It's not a bad idea. They didn't secure the information that the spike is actually down the back of A main, and they know that B was elapsed in position at the moment. So you're always going to have to understand that they want to mitigate losing any of these guns going into the next round. Hey, if Full Sense can manage to get a plant here for Fox, you can start to build up on that Hunter's Fury. I think you're going to be okay with that.
No, they're right. The boys are confident. The boys are doing well.
It is interesting that they've completely given up the side. I suppose they're just pretty happy to take retake. But, yeah, overall, we will see Full Sense get a plan.
10 seconds left.
They have to actually go
add to the momentum just a little bit.
Yeah,
as I said, you know, they should keep 5 alive here, I'd say.
Well, the only problem is going to be for JFT if they overlook any positions at the moment, which is technically where...
Yeah, variety streams. It's not just Val or Fortnite.
It's a good shot. Traded, though. That's the main thing. This is the thing about that kind of, you know, buddy system that they've got going on right now. It's not even a buddy system. It's a full party system. We're going together. Shots onto Andy. He can continue to hold true. And they're 4 alive. And look at this thing. You know, this is the choice of JFT kind of a little bit. You know, they'll pick up the Vandal, pick up the Phantom
FC,
nice and early.
PUBG,
so they've
Fortnite,
got 3
Valorant,
really strong weapons going into this
esports.
bonus by now, Komodo. Spectre,
And then we
Into.
have
Ramen's the only one who's going to have to reinvest. So, yeah,
some
they're going to have a
IRL
really good
creators,
chance at this bonus.
streamers, multi-streamers.
This is the sort of comment I made at the start, right? It was a very weird offense from Full Sense. They kind of all just tried to take the Angel.
Alright, I'm back.
Just
What
the
did I
one from
miss?
Fox
We're
in the
2-0
end.
up.
Good stuff.
Boys
Good
doing good.
counterplay from JFT.
They're
Proud of
looking
them.
cute as fuck.
Second round secured. And yeah, Full Sense now can get the Vandals out.
They are locked in. They're ready to fucking
absolutely.
go.
And I mean, you're looking at
actually
the tape that
see
we've got
how
for
much
these
of a
guys
delay there
already
is
and
on
towards this
YouTube
tournament
now.
as a whole when it comes to
If you haven't
Ascent,
already, go
and
like
we
the
don't
YouTube
have a
streamer.
Syncrisa gaming
We're pushing
agent
YouTube.
composition for either of these teams, right? So it's a little bit more known.
A lot of silence from
Full
Jay.
Sense opting for one of the most, you know, the most common agent selection to
Twitch
come in
ads
towards this
popping up.
JFT. A little bit of difference. We've got 2 other teams at this tournament that generally run the same composition when it comes to Ascent as well. This is going to be
Look, I don't know
really
what's happening,
important, though,
Charles.
when you do start to
Meant to be
split
helping
over
you.
towards B as Full Sense, or if you're going to pivot back towards A with the drone.
Great
But
start.
for the starters, PDC already down.
This is weird, man. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, John Olsen is going to be able to get the trades out, but he's dropped down to 11 points of HP. Andy Reid.
Oh, isn't John Olsen like
only gets the one, though.
really
That was
good?
the lower taken member
I know
of John
that
Olsen,
name.
so it's traded out
Join
well
call?
towards the side.
Yeah.
He's going to be a
I
3-on-2
gotta
now.
have
John
people
Olsen
join in who know what
gets
they're
to
talking about.
position after he's taken
So,
down
Oz can-
Kiss. Good response onto
Spike
Leviathan.
in.
That's a big member to take down. 2 versus 2 into this bonus now.
Yeah, and with Leviathan being one of our strongest clutch players so far, taking him out in this scenario is really good.
They're just going to make sure they clear out logs. Never mind. Fox actually makes his way in towards B main. That could potentially be an advantage here to JFT. They're both going down the back stairs. And will they get in towards side here? Sushi Boy's actually starting to clear this. It's going to be complete lack of information. They should know now as to where these members are coming from. Are they going to clear it? Yes. But Kiss only narrowly gets a trade. 1 point of HP and Fox will close. So I got a feel for JFT a little bit there. They felt like they had the aim to sort of, you know, cross it out towards market from the boat shed. But overall, it was John Olsen with a sharp aim to get it done. But in the end, you know, Full Sense, they only won it with 1 alive.
Base
so
cam is
the
covering
economic
what?
lows might start to hit them early.
2 of the players. Maybe
And we'll see if that is actually going to eventuate into this next round as well, because it can be a little bit strengthened for Full Sense when they lose 4 of the guns. They really are close to a couple of these key ultimates going into this next round as well, right? And that's on the outcome of what we were able to see in the booster round, farming up a couple of the orbs, getting the plants in. You can see that Fox is 1 away from the Hunter's Fury, just another to be added for Sushi Boys on the lockdown. You don't really have too much
left
of an
is like
answer
covering the
available
map,
unless we've got some
though.
great
We want
lineups
that
and
up
stuff
there.
from JFT to counter. So it may have to be respected on the back of it.
They paused it because I'm...
We just have a pause
I'm having
at the
technical
moment. We can
difficulties,
kind of
that's
just look into, again, a little bit more on what we've seen so far from Full Sense, and a lot of their strengths so far, Mitch, have actually been leaning into these meta changes of the Neon, right? A map like Ascent right now, we're not seeing them opt for it, so it goes a little bit more into normal Valorant gameplay, you know, methodical gameplay. I really want to see what PDC is going to be able to open up for Full Sense, because when you look at this KO, you're looking at some keen flashes, you're looking at some well-timed 0 points to particularly remove Andy from the equation in a lot of these duels. JFT always are going to rely on the combinations and just the aggressive duels that Andy will provide with those undercuts in combination if you can get Mercer on the line as well, right? So you're looking at what reviews both of these teams have kind of done.
I am not a caster.
I think for Full Sense, you know, they do really have to play into their strengths, which is going to be so far for this tournament, setting up John Olsen
Put on the right side, really? It covers guns. Kill feed, top right.
Spot on. Inside main, Andy will get the information as to where John Olsen is. Vulnerable, but still taken down. Ikana narrowly manages to get away. Mercer's only going to be able to get the tag up here as well with that outlaw. Are they going to cross on in? He does hit the shot onto Leviathan. That's huge. Akana gets another one as well.
Where are they playing at? Jakarta.
Right now, it's decent. Akana, has he got the information? Yes, he absolutely does. So this is fantastic from JFT. A great recovery, a great response. But Fox, you know how sharp he can be here, Komodo. He's managed to bring it back to the 2v2. Mirza very, very low, but so is John Olsen. It's going to be all about hitting this initial shot. So tough. Our drone out. Hold on for as long as possible. Actually pops the Hunter's Fury as well. Gets the info, but narrowly missing it. It's a really big round here for Full Sense. They've invested a hell of a whole lot. Again, you know, John Olsen's so low here as they start to run on in. It was Mirza that tried to give it a crack, but they slowed it right down.
Yeah, and the spike on lane as well makes it really difficult for Full Sense.
Last player standing.
This is the thing, though. John Olsen, when he's that sharp, they are going to be able to line it up. And this is that level of hesitancy that comes out from JFT, right? You know, they were in a 2v4 situation. But John Olsen, 10 HP, manages to hit the shot. And Fox, obviously, big impact player in that round. This is where JFT is going to let themselves down if they don't bring out that confidence that they do manage to sort of show around at home. You did see Mirza rather try to get a little bit of extra info in a short period of that round, but then he backed right off, and that ultimately led to their demise there.
A bit of overextension in main as well, and some, you know, unexpected results, I guess you would say, for Andy. 9 times out of 10, you'd be winning that duel. You don't have to even go for the headshot, and then the resulting play is that Fox brings that round back from a 2 versus 4 scenario. Really by himself. Quick 2 kills. Quick kills into the side as well, and just relaxed gameplay from Full Sense after that Hunter's Fury. So for JFT now, this is going to be a really important round to try to maintain the lead, build up a couple of their ults in combination with these utility pieces, and you can't get the job done. Unfortunately, Sushi Boys to dispatch of Kiss, which means Smoke's down, and with only 2 HP surviving as well, it actually would have been a brilliant opener for the defenders if they were able to find it.
Thing about Oceania, Komodo, is he might be one of the sharpest players here, but then when you go international, right, you've got to verse up against players like John Olsen.
Get their face.
Yeah, I'm looking at the space around the map that Full Sense are actually taking too, right? And it's multi-dimensional. 2 players creeping out and clearing B main completely. Fox to get that ulti orb again to get a bit closer towards his Hunter's Fury, but it's all a bit of time being bought for nothing that's going to eventuate over at A.
Oh, wow.
And they just line up. He's on 2 HP and it's a dry swing in. Yeah. That's a complete read for Full Sense, just parking it.
Absolutely, no flash there at all. So unfortunately, they just have to give up the round. This one's not too bad in a way. You know, they've obviously got only the Stingers, a couple of pistols. But you're exactly right, you know, leaning into that position, just walking in for the dry swing. I mean, if they waited an extra, like, 5 seconds in hindsight, they may be able to get something done there.
Drinking my coffee.
Right now, it's really just 3 of these members who have all been taken very, very low for Full Sense. But now they can kind of just slot into the post plant nicely. Got to be careful, though, some of these Full Sense members, if they want to keep the weapons in towards the next round.
Oh, so far, so good.
YOLO swag, you know?
Information. Yeah. John Olsen just shooting information on the back of it as well. Boys, that's actually ridiculous. And he's getting 3 kills on the back of being 2 HP. But just individually as well, we know pretty much every player in this lobby is going to be extremely sharp in certain key moments. So you really want to be seeing the combination of utility to get the job done. I mentioned previously PDC with some great flashes that he's got to line things up over towards the B site. That's exactly what he threw out in the previous round to assist the team to go in.
How are you, Chelsea?
The call is made just to park it while they try to pull any rotations back over towards the B site.
I'm doing good. I was just busy all morning, and then you just look so lost trying to commentate on Valorant.
I got asked about my experience in Valorant, and I didn't tell them about my little
on those shock darts.
I forget what he's called again. Legolas looking dude.
Really finding too much success
sober?
In the kill department. So we'll see if this is going to be
bitches love sober.
The JFT members.
And I shot the.
Just be hurting for that previous one again. Only the eco short.
Oh no. To see
taking
where
every single
was.
member down to somewhere between 10 and 40.
Yep, and then you popped your ult and you fired it at nothing. So
they're just going to have to hope to buy the
well, tactically, I thought putting it up in the sky would see everyone then.
It's going to be eyes on
like a drone
here inside the market. Already giving up the information,
like that.
but
apparently
this is
shooting
the
into a wall. Oh, here we go.
Full Sense, right, Andy?
Come on, Andy.
Yeah! Those Sushi Boys in.
Oh, he got popped.
Does hit the shot.
I love the little
nice.
Leviathan gets the trade.
Let me share.
Yeah, it means the lockdown's gone from Sushi Boys, but an immediate trade on the Kiss. The flank in mid has been red, so Fox is on an island by himself. This is where you can start.
They've got the advantage with guns right now, so that's good.
Advantage. Reconnaissance from the neural theft.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Set it cells together.
Absolutely, they've got all information now that every single member's playing here on the site. So it's going to be about the trade game. Hunter Fury comes out.
4v3. They've got
John Olsen
this.
spotted though. Doesn't quite get the catch. Now, as he's taken a little bit low, the contingency is going to come out, but they're still sitting, waiting
so
inside
weird,
that dark cover, making sure the utility does exactly what it needs.
As you move away.
That makes it really awkward. Komodo looking all good so far. PTC
Jay, stop lying. What am I lying about? I'm a professional.
3K. And I've just got to give credit to JFT in that round, the patience that they utilized, setting themselves up to trade, setting themselves up to retake correctly, not making any mistakes there, and 3 alive and a 3rd round.
Yeah, exemplary coordination from them. I gotta say, you know, one of the things that we've seen from JFT usually is that they just want to take every challenge that they possibly can.
Now, is that called
generally,
ISO?
or even by yourself, which is what we did see originally with a little bit of that overextension. But hey, they've reeled it back in. They've gone with a very
Is that called an ISO,
Chels,
when you're like 1v1
for full sense, I mean, they've still got a lot of these extra strategies to
immediately that's the ISO's ult. ISO's the agent's name.
Okay. So what's the 1v1 called? When you just call someone out.
So if you're full sense,
what's up, Ethan?
Who's pick now
is
might
this?
actually just be one of the most mundane things possible in this game of Valorant. It's dropped that lockdown in, but maybe you have to second guess that now, because that's some team spam from JFT to halt the B proceedings.
Mate, what were we talking about only a couple of days ago, Komodo? The win condition. Kill John Olsen. It was namely back on that neon on the map like Haven.
It was theirs, wasn't it?
But yeah, right.
Counter is so hot, fuck out.
Be a flash out.
I think we've got easily the hottest roster.
The undercut was there, but they've got to be careful of this lockdown right now.
Wait.
And the fragment is going to hurt them too.
It's going to be
where you shot the flare gun thing?
Yeah,
it's not called the flare gun thing.
PTC can buy a little bit of time before he drops that null command, and then your ability to go in.
Hottest by far.
So this is all gunplay from JFT now.
Absolutely. Kiss has it from the shadows if he wants to use it as well, so they are just going to start to creep on in here. See what they can do. Viking gets the dark cover down towards defender side of spawn. And they're still looking a little hesitant here at JFT. They've just got to make sure they move together, clear together. Patience. Bit of a virtue. Now there's the clear. Kiss opens up. Ramen gets the trade. PTC able to find at least one, but getting the info off the back of that scan. Now the pressure starts to come on to the remaining 2 members. It's going to be Andy to find PTC, but now Fox.
Yeah, they're not going to have time for the defuse.
To clutch it out. They run on in, but they are going to take him. But they don't have enough time. And that's perfect utility usage from Foxy there. It's just the thing, right? Full sense, they were patient, and JFT maybe a little bit too hesitant in that position. By the time they were moving out, they were set up to trade.
Chest versus chest is
100%.
I don't think it's really the hesitancy from
and
them.
aura.
More importantly, a lot of that abilities were used early, right? The paranoia was gone, the recons were gone, the drones were gone, no camera set up anymore from Ramen as well. The null commands really removed a lot of the opportunities that JFT had to actually mount a strong retake. Yes, the kills are getting in, but they had to wait 10, 15, 20 seconds before they even attempted to go on in, because there's nothing that they can clear. They don't know if there's a lineup, a crossfire from full sense going in from main, from lane, from back on the plat itself. There's so many different angles that you need to be clearing to get in towards that B side on the retake there. And it's just a really good setup and lockdown from the side of full sense, just to know together as a team, coordinated, where they all have to look, even when the time starts to shift down, it's on their side at that scenario, because the spike still needs to be defused. So really well done from Full Sense, actually, to not only maintain the lead, but to really layer in the approach from beginning and end when they do lose.
Just copy the post that we did earlier.
Olsen, right? It's not
the match day
just
post.
all of the eggs in the John Olsen basket. There is these other bits and pieces that, for the map of Ascent that's been in since the inception of Valorant, and this meta composition that we've known for so long, there's a reason why it's meta, right? It gives you so many different possible scenarios to bring players in, bring players out, no matter who loses their life in the round.
Their jersey's not too bad.
That's all I'll say. Bring back the SPG comp. Nah,
I swear no one fits their jersey.
I will say though, the SPG comp, you really have to be proficient in all of your layering of abilities and stuff. But if you don't get punished, I mean, hey, like, they're just going to roll with it.
That's right. Nah, but you're right. You know, there's a reason this agent composition has been a staple for so long. With the addition of Killjoy and KO,
by the water.
Kind of the earlier champions that
#
came out, the agents.
Come get me ramen.
But anyway.
So now, back to old faithful in mid control for Full Sense. Flank watch as well for both sides of the map from Killjoy utility. This is one of those rounds for JFT as well, where they will maintain credits to go into the next round and still lean towards this A side as well. It's one of the tendencies of JFT that it usually is the site that they like to look after. Now they have to be just a bit more worried over at the side of B for Ramen. He's got the Sheriff, he's got one trap to assist him.
Yeah, this is tough. Every single member here, 1 would be great, 2 would be even better, but, you know, when you've only got the Sheriff and you've got a PTC swinging at you, there's really not much you can do except play for this retake. Mirza does have the Guardian, but I don't think anyone's going to be stepping.
What the fuck have I just read, Melbourne?
So, just heading down mid, Fox, already going to spot out that info. And again, yeah, really at this point in time, they're just playing exits, but Andy does manage to find it. The double tap will be replenished.
I wonder how enticing
it's one of the greatest comments
to use the kill
that is like
in this retake scenario. 1 or 2 more kills,
ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, too much, I think. You know, getting the frag there was already awesome. So they do the smart thing.
There's not much you can do there on the save round anyway.
Now Kana does get 2 shots. That's actually some really good damage. Yeah. John Olsen decides to call it, pull it. If he gets the catch on towards the spawn side, that may actually not be a horrible thing. He's going to have to try and swing for it now. He's doing some damage, and he will get the third. So, look, for a Kana, that's pretty damn good. You've got to be happy if you're a JFT fan with that round.
I mean, that's more than good, because you look at how impactful that actually is to the
3 kills. It's not bad at all.
For Full Sense going into this next round, right? When all those kills are collected, that's a 4v1 against a Kana,
a lot
and
of damage.
3. So you're actually making it very swingable back in your favor after this round. You actually are going to have to see Fox and John Olsen here dip into their ultimates to potentially bring this round back.
Ikana, one of the most impactful players throughout the Oceanic VCT split number 2. Oof. Very impressive player, in and about. Sort of got my first eye on him a couple of years back, and you know, had the opportunity to see him make it all the way to Ascension here. So, look, JFT, you know, they are not on elimination point just yet either. They've still got another opportunity to make it to Britama Arena. But Full Sense, they're
shout
looking
out
to take
to
it
Chelsea
well.
for understanding this
I
game.
want to see how reactive Andy and Kiss are actually going to be with a lot of their utility right now.
I would.
Paranoia got
but
1
she
undercut
bullies
drawn
me.
out.
I'm trying to teach Jay.
By that 0 point as well, just buying 8 seconds.
That is a waste
too much rotations come from
of
JFT
time.
just yet. They don't exactly know if it's going to end up at A.
Someone sent you a friend request. Was that
Dark
actually
cover as well,
you?
just at the front of the site to allow the crossing back from Full Sense. So it'll be a bit of a reset for them.
How'd you get that?
Seeing if there's any lurking positions that Sushi Boys might be able to exploit. It'll be a little bit difficult for him though, when you've got a trap wire over at the entrance of B main. But the audible will be called for Full Sense. Back over towards B. Mirza left to the site. We'll see how this execute is actually going to work for them, because they've got both of their key abilities here. They've got a drone, they've got recon, and they've got the 0 point. That's a lot of the site you can clear now for Full Sense's execute.
Absolutely is. Just sort of hoping that maybe, you know, getting that little bit of extra side for utility will be enough. But they're already out, already into position. John Olsen is taken down there by Ikana. Paranoia will catch, but now he can get the response done out.
Okay, right, I was just checking.
Goes in, makes it a little bit awkward, but Kiss uses the From the Shadows, gets only 1, but it's enough for now. Ikana, again, this man is going on an absolute tear right now, Komodo. Impact out the wazoo. The guy's been doing it all for the team right now. JFT feeling like they get thrown into the backpack as Fox. He's got no chance of making it in. And, you know, you talk about that previous round with all the damage to the credits, the reviability you mentioned, and, yeah, look, I don't know. It's not looking like a great position at all. PTC's got some money. Fox can maybe drop over for another, but it's going to be a pretty scrappy
is going crazy
as we move into the latter parts of the opening half here on Ascent.
That's masterful from Ikana as well, when he waits for his team to get
This map's really good for Sovas anyway, because there's so many walls that are like wall bangable. That's why he's playing with an Odin. It really works really well.
Imagine if John Olsen
the Odin like can wall bang through a lot of the walls on this map. So
yes.
Just to do it himself. And now, Mitch, on the back of what we were saying previously, the fact that Ikana again got those 4 kills on the escape of the other round, now it's a reset for Full
Let them know. Yeah, no worries. I'll send it via pigeon. Hopefully they get it.
A couple of shots there, Kiss. Now he's just got to be cautious that he's given up his hand. You can't be doing that
John
around like
like
this up against the pistols, as again, it's just the single Vandal for Fox.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake from Kiss, because your smokes are down as well now, right? You've got Fox with that Vandal, but you've also got the Hunter's Fury. If you get 1 more kill as Full Sense, you might actually rely on that to find some damage, find some information.
That is a cheap yacht there.
To come back online at the moment, but you've also got John Olsen.
Do I understand this game? No,
again,
but I'm here.
Here's
JFT.
the same camera over in Pizza, the same trap wire over at B main.
Is it Banshee?
Feels like the strategy for JFT will be right now a retake if Full Sense get in towards the B site, and it'll have to be. And we know that Full Sense with these pistols, if you bring it into close quarters action, they can actually have some serious punch.
Absolutely. It just is depending. Okay, never mind. They do end up going through.
Sorry.
But that's the thing, right? If Ikana maybe started to get the spray just before they crossed, it would have been A-okay, but now that the fact that they're in, it's getting really, really scary for the rest of this round for JFT now.
This has to be a really well-refined retake for JFT from how the mistakes were made in the previous one. PDC doesn't have that null command this time, right? So abilities are here and available.
Hunter's Fury up, though. That's the main key here, promoter, that you spoke about. And in this 4-on-4, it does make it a little dicey.
Totally just implied I don't know what beans
too
are.
much time now. There we go. Akana does get some information. Forces John Olsen into a...
Hey, yeah, that was a bangable wall.
A bit of an
If they lose this, do they get knocked out? No, we're not going to lose this, and no, we get a second chance if we do lose. Or big beans.
Try and run one here, but he shouldn't have any post-ban shock dart, so it should be A-okay. Again, as I mentioned, repeating myself at this point in time, just trying to keep some focus for JFT.
Eyeball, baby!
4 alive.
Just stop,
don't make any
Mr.
mistakes.
Because I'm cooler.
They are allowed to tie the scoreline up 5-5.
That's some hate, because Mr. Bean is cool as fuck.
Well, right? When they
just
rip
gonna
out
let you
their
know.
own Hunter's Fury, they clear a key points, back of sight, they clear boat shed as well. But then more importantly, everyone individually for JFT on that retake,
pretty
getting
fucking
the kills
cool if you're cool and Mr.
realizing
Bean.
the fact that Fox is nowhere near the site actually,
Mr.
even
Bean has
if he's
aura.
got 2 shocked out lineups, you're 1v4ing at that point in time to deny the defuse from coming in. So very well back and forward gameplay that we're seeing from both of these teams, adapting at every turn of the map. And now this is going to be one of these really important ones for Full Sense, actually. If you want to be taking the lead at this
I'm also a little bit lost. How did everyone know Beans so well? Am I like getting someone wrong
here? You try and build up PDC on the null command. You try to get Sushi Boys towards the lockdown, farming these orbs and both B and A.
Mr. JFT, can I please join JFT? I am very reliable and live in Queensland too. What? Queensland? Living in Queensland is probably a down. That's probably a negative.
Excuse me?
I wouldn't be expecting JFT
That's
to
probably
be able to go
hurting
toe
your
with Full
chances.
Sense. And I mean, look, there's plenty of series
Icona
left,
is
right?
slaying. Icona
Still,
is
Full
in.
Sense would be the hard favorite.
Beans is one of our mods.
Okay,
Okay, so I know who you are then. That's why I said Banshee. I thought it was. I've been reading it wrong and saying it wrong my whole life. That is crazy. No, that's a dub. I'm living in Queensland. Dub.
You have to make sure
Queensland is where they put everyone who is.
Three angles that Full Sense can actually spread
Sorry,
into right now.
technical
A wrap around heaven, main and through tree.
I've been calling Banshee the whole time. I know exactly who you are. That is crazy. How about WA?
Really good win condition there. Dropping John Olsen. And Ramen in position. Gets the 2.
Country.
Now Fox in position to try and get the spike planted. He is a clutch player, we remember. So I'm not going to count him out just yet in this 1v2.
Exactly, that's the guy who they got representing.
Absolutely.
That
and they'll go drone for drone too, so is he going to be able to spot that information? Didn't quite hear the footstep, but now repositioning back around the Jennies. They just have to trade. They just have to go together.
Get to another country as it does to another state. You're another country.
Up, make sure he secures it. So that's crazy.
Take that fucking lead.
They managed to walk away here with the 6th round, a chance to pull it to 7.
Rebrand myself. Yeah, to Banshee. Go to Banshee. That's what I knew you as the whole time.
Everything that they need to make sure that they've got a solid final round of
That's fucked.
Yeah, the 1 versus 4
What's up, Shade?
Previous round amongst the Chaos of B. This time a 1 versus 2 could be more manageable. Right, gets the drone for a bit of the information as well, but a single shock dart, no recon available, and then when your position is sniffed out too, it makes it a little bit difficult. But the heavy lifting in that round actually as well, just making sure for JFT that they know that every one of the 3 players at that alpha side are watching the right location.
I get really territorial with Queensland and New South Wales when it comes to State of Origin
together, getting all of the trades really well coordinated for the Oceanic players.
It's hard to read when you get old.
Transition into the last round of this half.
All good, Chels.
And I am at least, glad to see that Full Sense are able to
Minsu, who's winning, is 6-5 at the moment, first round.
With that null command,
map.
Sushi Boys 1 away from the lockdown. So what was I saying?
Up New South Wales.
Yeah, brah! These ultimates to be able to
first to 13 or total 13 rounds. First to 13, but have to win by 2.
Once again, they've given them the space. Similar sort of hold.
Have to add you.
Moses straight onto the line.
Into.
This has been a
the
pretty common approach here for Full Sense. This time, though, Fox.
I like Vic because I live here.
Out the drone early.
We've seen Kiss play from this position before and he got his head removed from his shoulders, but a nice swing from Ramen actually. PDC by himself. So it's all a bit of a ruse, but look at that. Already JFT, right place, right time, a shutdown. on this round, and now it's all down to Fox, and he's just got nothing to do.
Oh, Kiss!
Sushi Boys 1 versus 5, not a position you'd be expecting him to be in.
I love how they turned Kiss's celebration into a GIF last night so quickly. That was unreal.
Time and time again. It's
flawless, baby.
Tough play to be the Sova role on a map like Ascent, right? You have so much, you know, people relying on you. There's so much control that you need to kind of have in your hand on both the attack and defensive side. And 18-4 against, you know, one of the best teams inside this competition to get it started is absolutely massive. But the rest of the team isn't really falling behind. You know, Mirza had a bit of a quiet start, sure, but the fact is he's got a couple of those impact.
Is that what a Banshee is?
And yeah, I don't know, just the way that they started it. They tried to send PTC up short with the null command to
now when I say beans, I think of
a bit of
Coach
Ascent,
Beans,
but they were ready for it. They didn't over-rotate.
Hello, D-Boys.
This is why that we are seeing now JFT lead.
How are you?
I think it's important to note that there's nothing too unorthodox about what JFT actually did on the defensive side, right?
I remember that being
very structured in how they're looking around.
What is it? What is it? I thought it was like a car.
Pretty
to be honest,
and just holding down the same positions, and they're happy enough to go for these retakes if they need to.
There's Telly.
The success rate for them was
There's Telly.
The failure rate, right? So that's pretty good from
Telly.
And ultimately, for Full Sense, right? They haven't actually met with too much pressure in a scenario like this. Until Disguise, right? Because you can kind of, I guess to a degree, just remove
Bella, he can't hear you.
Oblivion Force game
or read
that for right now, because it was Icebox against Disguise that showed us some brutality, right? The massive.
I'm good, thanks, D-Boys. I gotta add you to the wheel for the giveaway.
So I think coming into this
how do I say
Full Sense, you're really going to have a great idea of how you're going to combat the combination factors to come in from JFT, because we know that for JFT going in towards this one, there's going to be a lot of pushing and pulling that they're going to try and do. There's going to be positions where Icana is going to set up some really good utility, and if
when we guarantee can't win,
going against, you know,
then
Kiss
he can come
and
in.
Andy just overwhelming you, hand on a swivel shooting. So this is going to be really reliant upon making sure that Full Sense kind of gain early information, right? The ability that two of these initiators against two of these duelists goes more in favor to play a little bit step by step for Full Sense in this half.
Look at them just having fun. They've just got so much aura.
Make sure that JFT continue the momentum behind them into this one. A pistol round would very much bring it back for Full Sense, whereas on the other side of JFT for the Aussies,
rhymes like
be able to stack themselves up a nice little advantage. A lot to sort of give back here. Because again, you know, winner of this one takes it forward. Makes it to the next stage, makes it to the next step.
Female spirit that shapeshifts. Apparently it's a spirit died violently or very young. Holy fuck, I thought it was a car.
Towards ascending.
We'll stick with beans.
Attack will actually look like
beans.
For JFT straight in through the tree, and that is a great paranoia actually coming from the opponent's tree.
Oh my god, look at this bruh.
This pistol is a bit echoing of the first pistol that we saw. Hey.
Wow.
Didn't quite work out.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, completely blinded up in that paranoia.
Thank you, Red Wolf.
Yeah, Sushi Boys goes big.
Subscribe with Prime.
Such an impact player, and this is the thing about winning the pistol when you're only up 7-5, right?
I don't claim
you
this.
Basically
I want
sort
to
of forgo your advantage that you
don't
have.
claim that.
And I don't
Did
think
Mirza whiff?
invest into this one. They're just going to take the L.
I don't know. We have that on the bingo cards.
I would like to see what damage they're going to be able to deliver.
He didn't show his
more
perspective.
Full Sense as well, right? It's kind of copy paste from.
There's a car called a Banshee. Pontiac Banshee. See, that's what I knew.
Favoring in those crossfires. Now I want to see if John Olsen is going to be able to lead the charge on this defensive side, because you know he's going to want to get aggressive. You know they're going to want to play reactive on the back of all this utility. Force suppressed by the KO 0 point is going to be a huge amount of information. And for Kiss, I mean, he's the straggler over at A. Trying to just see if he can get anything cheeky.
How do you get away with that?
Yeah, that's
such an
ridiculous.
anti-play, so
Vroom, vroom,
cheeky.
that motherfucker.
Just a single pistol, though, so they're not going to be too stressed. I mean, look, side of F,
yeah,
Full
no,
Sense
what
have
the
to be
fuck,
careful.
Andy? Andy is
They don't want to overextend here.
Legit.
4 members close. The flank coming in, though, from Fox. It's already
Wait,
up
how's
close.
Mirza not dead?
He's managed to spend all the bullets. This is dangerous.
Okay.
PTC does manage to get 1 and a second, but there you go. They're already trading on their way onto the Wolves' site, Komodo, and John Olsen. He's got the Outlaw. He's 47 points of HP, does hit the shot. Very winnable for Akana with the Spectre. Our drone goes up and over the top. He does give away the information, but he has to play it careful. He's got an Outlaw in his zone, has got the shock darts. So he's got to actually get it out. That gives him a little bit of space. He gets the info. That makes it huge here, Komodo. If he uses these shock darts, there's a real chance he can win out this round. He's got to play it tight, but John Olsen, awesome. But that's the patience, that's the calm. Akana maybe just needed to sit still for a second longer, but hindsight's 20/20 as always.
I have have to give a bit of a problem towards Mercer in that round, actually, at the end there as well, right? 2 versus 2. You've already seen John Olsen get some impactful damage around the B site, and you kind of go for a challenge in stairs, which is one of the most common lines to hold when your opponents are going in for a plant. Can't help but feel if it was a 2 versus 2 at the end there, and then they reset to go back site, using the drone, waiting for the recon dart that they actually might manage to do a little bit more damage.
Jason,
and maybe
where are they
even
from?
the round, because Icona does have both of those shock darts still available. A bit of an overhit from Mercer, who is having a bit of a uncharacteristic game, a really slow start, not able to find anything.
I didn't say that in the tweet, actually.
It's been really carried up by Icona, by Andy. You know, Kiss at certain points in time as well has been falling to a bit of overextension gameplay, so I think they need to be reeled in. I think a timeout eventually if Long is going to be able to find
Jason's a hater.
For the boys. This bonus though.
That's the thing. Just got to be
that is not
super
hard.
calm in those 2v2s. Let them come
not hard
to you.
at all. That's what she said.
See what's going to happen in this bonus round now, because John Olsen still does have that outlaw. So a priority on JFT, and knowing that, you've got to get those full shields out, which they all do. Right, a lot of damage in the previous round as well will ensure that they can get a couple of these key abilities to try and path their way in towards one of these sites.
Completely off B.
Yeah, I think it's okay, though. You've got that turret to play a little bit of Spotto as well out through B. If you are just going for a standard execute right now, you do have to wait a long time for Kiss to actually get out these dark covers as well. So are you just putting a bit of a priority on one dark cover
looking at your
the
fridge
door and a contingency out towards CT?
Don't get stuck.
It's just that slow creep again. 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
We'll have the double tap contingency out. Nose up. Close the door. Break the turret. Got that information now, so at least they can secure the site spike.
Oh, the spike
get
is
its
so
way
far
in
behind
there.
those.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to go.
What? I just saw a video that
but that could have set up the post
someone
a little better.
got stuck on
well, this is one of those scenarios where, as a team,
it ended well. I suppose they both seem to
a site like B on Ascent, so this should be
get
done for full sense in how they're going to layer this strategy now.
Weaponry not
Fridge
great.
didn't even get fucking
Playing
fixed.
off the site. This is good for them, not wanting to give away any of these weapons, JFT. They want to make sure that they secure this bonus. They lost the pistol, they narrowly missed the second. So they've got to play this
I get sent them.
perfection. Keeping an eye on it, and that's a great flash, absolutely right. And you're only getting the one, and Levant...
I only watch it for the story.
Frag. This is the problem. In position, it's all left onto Akana, and he's swinging around, and I don't know how they've given this up. That was one flash, Komodo. One flash is all they needed to win the round there, full sense.
As I said, for full sense, you know, one of the biggest things that you practice in your scrims a lot of the times is how do we get a retake just happening when it is a 5 versus 5 scenario. In the setup that full sense go for, they're okay to push it into a bit of a retake, right? You can see that they're immediately reacting when they fall back towards spawn, they juggle the weapons, they line up all this utility. It was a little bit early from Andy getting out that undercut with no one else able to peek over towards the stairs, and as you mentioned, a single flash drive in from PDC. Everybody just aligns on what angles that they need to clear on the back of that flash. It's absolutely gorgeous of a retake to come through from full sense.
Fuck.
Absolutely. Again, just overheating a little bit, you feel like, from JFT. Almost an unlosable round from them.
The 0 points just ping so many of the JFT players again.
They're already out. Now they're going to be able to trade out. No, not at all. It's starting to look a little bit limp here, Komodo. PTC manages to find a couple. There's all members of full sense here. Should have called the audible a little bit earlier and tried to get out of there, but Andy is in such an awkward line now. And only with the Guardian, it's going to be so hard for him to get out. Sushi Boys, just a single dart away from getting a whole lot of information. And that spray through with the Odin. But for now, they are going to fall away. They're just going to leave it for a minute.
Oh, definition of insanity, right? Trying the same thing over and over again, expecting a different
result,
Andy. Especially when you're kind of known what's going on with that 0 point. Not a lot of utility to break in towards this B site. They'd have to really dig deep to get this round back for JFT and not be misguided in how they're actually just going to get back into this, right? Because Kiss is dead, Mers is dead, there's no smokes.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, wow.
Still here. Yeah, PTC. Straight through the smoke. Gets the tap. John Olsen gets the frag.
Good little taps there.
And I'll give a little bit of space to that round for JFT, given the fact that they seem to sort of put it as a bit of a throwaway round. But Full Sense, again, they just played it to absolute perfection, and it seems like they're adapting and reading JFT really, really well here. And there's that tack timeout that you were talking about, Komodo. Really sort of needed it to have a conversation and work out exactly what's going on.
We need to win this round.
This match from JFT looked so promising. They were looking so consistent. They were able to trade
They have
really,
someone
really
from
well. But now the second they flipped it onto the defender's side,
and then
the
they
attacker
have...
side, rather, they've been able to get the sites, they've been able to get that control, but playing the post plan has been really, really challenging for them, which is strange because the retake wasn't that bad for them.
There's Telly again.
Yeah, you'll recalibrate your strategy here with your coach and with your assistants as well, right? And in amongst yourselves, what have you been able to figure out that Full Sense are doing? Because more importantly, I think for Full Sense right now, they're just realizing together we can retake. If we're expecting these cheeky close-up plays to come through JFT, like Andy pushing into a smoke, we know that JFT love to get in towards these smokes before they go for these explosions, which is why PDC's just shooting up a storm, right?
Bro, he's stressing.
So
he's binding his finger.
You are trying to assess for JFT right now how we're actually going into these sites when we're not being cheeky, because that's what Full Sense are being expecting for right now. They're happy.
Oh, hello, Jason.
So I think if you're JFT,
yo, wait, can you not hear me?
I can now.
Read into it.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to draw any rotation fakes.
What's up?
Full Sense. They're too keen-eyed on what's happening at the moment. The recon darts are great. The 0 points are great. So you
what are the
can't
maps?
dodge this early layering of utility and then set up for the JFT-esque gunplay.
They've still got a couple more chances.
Did he hear you again, Bella?
One more gun round and Full Sense, you know, they get that double digits. You start to get a little bit worried for the Aussies. Because, again, the Thai side, you know, they've got a real vengeance story. You know, they want to get back to that sort of 2021 form, 2022 form that we saw globally from the Thai players. A little bit of a different roster, of course, in this setup, but...
He said hi back? Ah, fair.
You know, they need to make sure that they not only win out up against their region, obviously taking down Myth,
just gotta make a TikTok out of it.
A better team.
Yeah.
And if they can take the Ties back to Tier 1, that'll be a dream story.
I'm looking at what Full Sense have changed up in this round as well, right? The double mid, double tree push to see if anything's coming up cat. A retake on A. You've got B main control on the back of the turret as well as Fox going in for the spot. So 100% Full Sense knows that this is ending towards A, right? There's been no pressure that Ramen's been able to establish. You'd have to destroy that turret really nice and early. 0 Point finds Andy, who is usually the one who is trying to go in, and you actually remove that kill contract for the time being. So I think you're adjusting just a tad from Full Sense on the back of that information now to start to pivot towards the A side, to start to get your utility set ready for an execute from JFT and BB when the plant goes down.
Look at that rotation as well. I was going to say, you know, we were expecting JFT to have a pretty comfortable take of the site.
30 seconds.
In guard, short. He's actually able to find Leviathan as well, which is a huge frag. But look at them, they're going to actually start to retake this one early. Recon does get lots of info, absolutely right. Fox is already in, and he's got the two. Look at how quickly they're in here, Ramen. Hang on a second. Komodo, there's a chance in it. PTC has an operator. Is going to be able to get the information off the 0 Point. No, he'll flood him back. He taps on, gets onto the information, gets onto the line. That's the cam broken. Ramen gives the shoulder, gives the information. It's going to be very unfortunate. Knows he's not there. A single flash. He's just going to knife it on. Does shoulder it exactly right.
He knows he's off.
It up. And man, that's PTC finding it again. You know, this is the thing. The JFT, they weren't able to set up their post plant. They weren't able to get many people out.
COO.
And having everyone on the site, having the retake come in, it was the scan. It was the null command. Everyone was just like, you know, deer in the headlights there for JFT, and Full Sense overwhelmed immediately.
I mean, not even needing to use the null command at the end of that, right? Because the team is just already here, and that's the power that Full Sense is just B-pop is able to find. You've got a turret, you've got Fox on the line, you've got the double mid push, the double tree push. Full Sense are already setting up for an A-side hit. They get the info on Andy with that 0 Point. They adjust.
You got to go to those places.
Because that's generally where a kill contract is going to go, right? Towards the site to remove anyone from the equation for a hit. So it's just Full Sense really well placed around the map to get all the information, to go in for the full retake. And now this is setting them up for round number 11, essentially, because there's no weapons for JFT yet again. I got to boys on that lockdown once more.
I got to tell you, not a
I know everything about Val.
Attacker-sided round for JFT. They've had 3 sites secured.
Is JFT on a save round right now?
Sorry?
Brought back. And ever since then,
what'd you say?
It's just been Full Sense all the way. So JFT have to get
is JFT on a save round right now, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timing on
yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, coming from Full Sense. Info that there is around mid.
Fuck!
Nothing in
no!
Yet again, that turret is still active. It's just too easy at the moment from Full Sense with a pinnacle in through mid. But an attempt, maybe.
They're on a 8 round, so like they might not win the round, which is fine. They just need to try and get as many kills as they can.
There you go. Same things happen again. Flank overwhelmed, mid control taken. And I think Full Sense has 100% got the read now, right? They've got the confidence. They know they're a better team than JFT. They've been able to lean into that control. And again, it's only map number 1. I can't write them off just yet, but from the difference in
that angle, fuck
from
this.
Full Sense, from the start of this map to what we're seeing right now, it's
What's up, Avery?
They know exactly that they're the better team. They're taking it. They're leaning into that advantage.
Hello.
And this is the round where now, if we see this not go the way of JFT, I think we can start talking about map number 2.
Yeah, I mean, you're just looking at what Full Sense is dictating around this map at the moment, and they're just dominating in the information game with the positions around the map. A change up straight through mid. Yes, there's an L command in, but you've succeeded in a lot of this position already.
2 picks already found. Stuck
They really need to take out that operator when they're not on defense.
Fall away, but by the time they get towards tiles, you know, they've already got Sushi Boys there holding the line from short. So this is exactly what I meant by that quick point.
We're getting rolled for all our shoes.
They know that they're the better team now, and they're playing like it. They're playing like it's a Smurf game now.
Yeah, pretty much. You got these elements for Full Sense that they're taking control around the whole map. They know what positions are gapped as well. They know where exactly they need to be looking in a scenario like this.
Yeah, I know. I thanked him for it.
You're switching to a retake. You've been so successful in it so far. You've got an Alchemist, you've got a Hunter's Fury. Yeah, you might not have the exact idea.
It didn't come up with anything I just saw it in the chat.
But it still doesn't really matter.
Whatever it's called.
The only thing you can kind of hope for here is, like, Kiss hasn't taken really any control, but he's stemmed the bleeding enough that it will allow them control in towards the site. Both Nanos are pop there as well. Dark cover up towards Heaven. Bolt doesn't get anything, nor does the Hunter's Fury at this point in time. I think they're going to be able to dodge it, so they will get
this.
Look
at this
one tagged up,
idiot fox. You gotta shoot it up in the sky.
To the post plan.
Yeah, well, no, PDC would remove everything for JFT.
Pushing into short. I really like that approach.
They've still got a KO ult as well.
Because Sushi Boy's already onto that line, but he's run out of bullets. If he's able to not get this reload, might be a moment, but it doesn't matter. But he's got the aim. It's all on the ramen. 1 versus 3 has the cam, but it's going to be destroyed by that 0 point for the time being. Just needs to drop in. If he looks to try and take that control, Sushi Boys is just going to be able to sit on it. Look at this. They don't need to do anything at all, Full Sense. They can just sit still, hang out.
Unfortunate.
Round 12 for Full Sense.
Dude, that scares me. I know that they know what they're doing, but they kept like undoing it and doing it again. That would, I'd make myself shoot myself.
He really needs to reset
First time here. Are you the owner of JFT? Yes, I am.
It just feels like for JFT now, they are stuck in a place that they can't get out of, and that place at the moment is literally
fucking unlucky
on what is happening around the map. When you've got a
those rounds for content,
you don't need to stretch out of any comfortable factors in this map right now, and that's what Full Sense is just driving on towards. JFT have not pressured them to be dumping utility early, to be.
So this was their map anyway, right?
Back. This is a master.
Yeah, it's epic.
But it's also on the exact same.
I'll have a look how good they were on it, or are on it.
Dog being, you know, on attacker's side, and the big Giga Chad dog on
back
the
is so
attacker's
sore
side. Like, I don't understand. I flipped that. Anyway, I don't understand the difference. I don't understand why the approach feels so strange for them.
They'll have confidence. They'll have confidence next game. It's their map. Their map pick.
I can send them a booty pick or something.
Well, this time there is a slight difference that Ramen has managed to destroy the Killjoy utility in B, but there's nothing on the back of it to suggest that things are actually still going to tend towards that location. On the back of this tree, Hot Kiss gets PTC, and Leviathan fall as well. So this is looking a little bit better from JFT. Is it too little too late, though, Mitch?
No, it's not.
Give them another chance, but they have to overwhelm this round.
JFT have an...
5 rounds.
Why do I always get a read that
back to take this
Analyst.
Off the back of not a single...
It's the most played map. Ascent.
So Ramen's position in tiles.
Yeah, and it's like 51% win rate, so they're pretty good at it.
Does make quick work of him, so it's already won. It's already that lurk.
No pro gas.
The additional time to try and get back into it here. Johnson Olsen can just keep throwing out those shots. The Odin still being sprayed out. That's another one for Fox. He's able to do this. It's going to be a really bad sign, but Akana swings, and now it's on to Fox in the 1v2. 38 points of HP, and Mercer's going to be able to find him. There we go. Finally, a round on the board for JFT.
I don't know.
But is it going to be enough to get?
They have a good chance on Lotus. The other team's only played Lotus 20 times of this roster.
Around that retake as well, isn't it? Right, because you're looking at
but they have a pretty high percent on it.
But you're looking at a lot of the information that Ramen's going to be able to bring to the table removed for that late flank as well. Read in by Fox.
What's Lotus?
Finally, once JFT do get into the site, though, you're looking
Lotus.
at
Lotus
coming from heaven and up at the rafters as
so
well.
They would have banned
with an operator,
the ice one or whatever it is.
Odin in the hands of Sushi.
Yeah, they insta-banned Icebox after seeing you guys shit on fucking whatever that team was the other day.
Getting a few more rounds, this will help their confidence, 100%. I'm jumping onto our map after.
It's an important trade, but the problem is,
who to bet with?
He's been the one to really lead you in this map, and now that he's gone, how are you actually breaking into a site? There's going to be a lot of power that Andy needs to bring into this round.
Sure Russell could hear our comms.
With these undercuts as well, to just
glad they
force the
can't.
team in towards the site.
John Olsen down.
Catches Fox. Maybe there's a chance, and there you go. Is he into it? Not quite.
He's missed again.
Narrowly misses the kill contract. And PTC onto that line. He's obviously got into position, but he's hit the shot. And look at this. This is what I mean. Straight out into the open. The paranoia misses as well. It's looking scrappy. Ramen does manage to find one back. Yes. Fox in position. Kiss does get another. Okay. We're into the advantage found here again for JFT. Lockdown is there. Absolutely. Kiss wants to try fight this, and I think that's the absolute play, but Leviathan is already into it. They have to swing Komodo. They have to go for this unless they get out and get into the back safety of Wine. You're right. What is going on?
They're gonna have to.
No plant just yet. That was
they're gonna have to wait that out now. They haven't planted.
As well, because none of his boys were behind him. Perfect dark cover actually to just reset everything right now. And I mean, the paranoia is still available for Leviathan too. Do you expect this repositioning?
Did Kiss have it, or who had it?
I mean, he's over a B now. Just in case.
I thought Kiss had it at the start.
All Leviathan needs though is one, and he's just heard the camera come out, so the jig's up. We know it's A.
Make the call, and he's got the cross. It's going to have to be all on Emerza, who, as you mentioned, has not had the best of games at all. 10 seconds is pretty much going to have to go.
No time to plant once he gets the 2 kills.
He's off the line. He gets the shot. Does he have enough time? I don't think he does, and that is a horrible, horrible way to lose out a game, Komodo. You've got to be hurting if you are a JFT fan there. But
yeah, that
sucks. Exactly what we need to make the difference, to make the change. You can't come into a game this strong and then switch over to
a alright. Next game, we've got our map.
Understood the mission, you know, in the end. They understood how they needed to play.
Lotus is great too. It's like
confident. They overwhelmed them.
It's very like attack and defense sided, so even if they don't do well on defense, you can still make up for an attack, unlike this map.
You have to question and take back to the coach and try to re-establish before the next map.
Yeah, I mean, you got to see around the map just how the meta has shifted individually for the players on full sense as well, right? When they're recognizing that there's these little gimmick plays that JFT are trying to throw at them in the very beginning of this map, it's adjusted a little bit, but more importantly, when the flip is over, they kind of just have a complete read around the map on how JFT are
Alright, do we do a wheel spin because of the Ramen whiff before?
Red frags, yes. For sure, but
didn't you already have a whiff yesterday though?
Sorry?
Didn't you already have a whiff yesterday?
I don't think we
making them reset
didn't do a wheel spin
rounds.
for it.
How are they going to get back into it? And it's in the
we had a util kill, I know that.
Yeah, we did 3 of the bingos yesterday.
To get back in towards these
oh, okay.
So just do one spin
the next map in Lotus. I mean, you're looking towards full sense. Could probably be closing this out 2-0 if they continue with what they just did in that map there.
Absolutely. There is still some opportunity, obviously, for JFT. As we sort of said, I don't think many people out there would have been expecting to see the half that we did there, 7-5, but to have it go all the way back and to end up a 13-8, as I mentioned, something needs to be done. I don't understand how the approach shifted so much from the defender's side to the attacker's side. But Lotus is a map that's played very, very differently, and I think Mika and Dax can run us through that before we get into the next map.
I mean, sure, it could be a reset on map number 2, but given how the momentum was just, you know, taken from the hands of JFT, especially in that, you know, second half, I don't know, Dax. This was a little tough to watch if you're a JFT fan. Sorry, Tom.
It started off with a bang, right? Coming into this map, JFT had a 100% win rate on it, and they're like, cool, we get to start on defense. Full sense picking this map, we can actually play it. And Akana having an incredible performance on that.
Just want you to know that your skills on paint are absolutely horrible.
Came from that first half. They had a bit of the.
Do you think I needed that right then and there?
But
That's fucked up.
Do you think I didn't need support?
Draw an X on his little bingo board.
And that's really where Fulsen's capitalized on. Fulsen's is a team
I wish I did that off the stream then.
The retake game, especially
that is her.
Absolute masterclass. And the post-plant stats.
Bella, didn't you like win on like the Fortnite day? You can't get re-added.
Post-plant wins, and that was the one round that they got on the attacking side. It just goes to show for Fulsen's that experience really helping them in the long run against JFT's firepower, because
I can take you off.
How to capitalize on the overheats. They know how to capitalize on the timings, and especially Mika, you saw there on Full Senses defense, PTC having his heyday, and I didn't even know he was going to be the MVP, but it felt that way. A single flash for the retake, the push in with the rest of the team, and even picking up the operator and getting picks with it.
Mouse.
He knew when to step up, and that was on the second
I can't use mouse. If it was controller, I would have nailed that.
He's one of the, one of
the
big bosses on the side of Full Sense, right? But yeah, you mentioned it, right? It was Full Sense being really patient.
Use your words.
Defense, right? And it's that kind of patience
Come on.
with experience. You saw on the side of JFT how
I'm too shy to talk shit.
A little bit of that carelessness that sometimes inexperience comes with. So it was a bit of a slow start from
Zach.
but you did kind of sense as well. They weren't exactly going to panic or get out of hand. But that is going to be the first map. We still have a second one, and as Conky mentioned, hey, maybe things are a lot better for these teams, or rather for JFT on Lotus. Maybe we finally get that map 3 that Conky and Komodo want so much. We're gonna find out right after this very quick break.
He didn't win anything. He goes on to the final round of it. So once all of it's done, everyone goes into a wheel to win one of these prizes. So it's either a Hex, custom controllers, I've got a couple here.
On God, that better be what I win.
Sorry?
I said on God, that better be what I win.
I thought I heard Jesus earlier. Now I'm hearing the devil. How is this happening?
Hi.
The other thing, V-Bucks and Valorant points. The equivalent of whatever. We're going to be doing a couple. Is that the Hex JFT controller? Yes. Not our custom one, but the controller will be, you'll get to choose, you'll get to choose what one you want off their website. I'm just adding the other guys through on the YouTube. What's up, Yizzy? How are you? What's up, Daniel? Daniel, you're already on there, weren't you? From yesterday.
Wait, Chels, how do I do it? Can I do it?
Yeah, / prediction.
Oh. And then what I do? I've never done it before.
You just put in the prediction that you want.
And then obviously, if someone in chat told me the score last match, it was 13-8, was it? 13-7.
I'm just gonna finish cutting the chicken, then I'll come up and fix it.
Wait, Chels, I really don't know what I'm doing.
If someone doesn't
someone give Chels mod.
Or able to claim the prize, if they're not in the Discord, then we keep redrawing until someone does. But that won't be
Chels, let me just finish.
What did that do?
Odd Chels.
Got it.
Can we have like Banshee as a mod as well?
Yeah, Jay. Jay, you're on Jay. On your stream thing, see that chat where you're reading from for Twitch?
Yep.
Go on there, type /mod, and type their Twitch names.
Give me a second, I'm stuck on Chels. Like it's not letting me click out.
Chels, are you proud of me? I did it.
What the fuck?
Hey, let's go. Now I'm gonna waste all my points. 15k.
I need 15k, Chels. That's embarrassing.
What do I do? / what?
Mod. And then you type Chels, and you press enter.
Aren't you already mod, Chels?
No,
No, VIP.
that work? Unrecognized command.
I think so. Don't do the @ you just gotta type the name.
I didn't.
Oh yeah, you just type the name.
Oh, well.
I'll come to it.
We are heading into Lotus, the second map in this series between
check.
Full Sense and JFT. And Dax, you know, for JFT, they did struggle quite a lot, especially losing some steam on that first map. But in the beginning, I actually was impressed that they didn't slow down because I was concerned that
Yeah, but you should over at it.
they might hesitate a bit because it's Full Sense. If they can keep up that start that they had there, hello Cat. If they can
I don't
keep
know,
up that start,
man.
perhaps
You're asking
Lotus
too
is
much.
going to be a different story here, Dax.
Yeah, I mean,
And Cat.
it is their map pick, and yes, you can move, so I can look at some of the stats here. And interesting enough, it's something I pointed out a while ago during the map veto, right? Wherein, sure, Full Sense is picking Ascent, but JFT has a 100% win rate on it. Now it's the inverse. JFT picking up Lotus.
Shows waste your tokens.
When they
Can
face
we?
up against Rapid Lo-Fi on
Okay,
it, bringing the
I know who to
initiator,
message
Loaf
right
and
now.
Neon together. But
Oh, you did it.
Full
There you go.
Sense, on the other hand, has their own 100% win rate on it in reverse. But I guess really, Mika, there is a big point of concern for the longevity here of JFT. And there's one more thing about this map draft right now that's very interesting to me. And it's where Full Sense starts for both of these maps. We saw a while ago a center pick, so JFT will start on the defense. And Full Sense had to wait for the second half to effectively have the advantage, right? The defensive advantage on Ascent. Now it's interesting here on Lotus because Full Sense have decided to go on the attack first. And yet again, JFT is going to get
Are you
put
dual streaming,
on the
Jay?
spot here,
Yep.
where they're going to need to start
I'm a
off
fucking
strong,
streamer.
have that defense, or rather, I think I actually have it mixed up. I think they're Full Sense will start on the defense.
Pretty day job.
Confirmation there.
That's
Full
what I'm
Sense starts
saying.
on the defense,
I got a
right?
sub already.
JFT
Like, this is
will need
fucking
to hustle
crazy.
at the very start, get a
Surely
big
that
gap
pays rent,
going,
right?
and see if they have the longevity yet again. It's a similar test from what we saw on map number 1.
Yeah, it's I think it's the defensive side that really draws my attention here, especially since, you know, again, 3-side map requires a bit more coordination. That's why for Full Sense, veteran team, again, all of the experience, they probably already know what to do. The protocols are in place. But
I missed
for JFT,
everything in the chat there.
they
Hopefully
probably
that
don't
no one
have
was talking to me.
that deep of a playbook just yet on maps
Oh,
like this,
my
right?
back!
Also, you know, when we previously saw them up against Rapid Lo-Fi, they did run
Oh,
composition
I gotta
that
do the
didn't
model of
represent
the
well,
jersey,
which
obviously.
They
Again.
might need that extra support, that extra info over here on this map, right? So a lot
Ignore
of questions
all
here
the
that
shit
I wonder
in
if
this
they're gonna
room. This
switch
is
it up.
my,
I'm wondering if they're gonna bring back, you know, the
my
Cypher,
gaming room,
into
but it
this,
is also where all our
especially
stuff
since,
is for
like,
Bali.
You know, that Sushi Boys versus Ramen
So we've
match
got
Oh,
last
guys,
year,
never-
unfortunately,
beautiful
you know, we
blossom,
saw pretty much
flowers.
Sushi Boys just took it and ran.
Yeah, but I
Big
really like
JFT
how they played
logo on the
initiator here against
chest.
Rapid Lo-Fi. You look at how JFT runs this
Aussie
because
flag.
they have a neon. When you have Fade and
Hex
Burst together, you have
Gaming,
so much
a
utility
beautiful
to
partner.
set up these
We've got the
attributes,
4
right? But there's
stars for
also
all the
one more
titles we've
thing.
won.
Both of the ultimates
FNCS,
of the two
FNCS,
initiators are
FNCS.
ground-based. They go through with the
DCT.
Rolling Thunder. They go through with the Nightfall. You get so much space with
Custom on
Andy
the
in
back.
backline. And one thing that they did so well to play these
You can get your
was
name.
Andy getting in, for example, on C side. He takes hulls. He can
And
even
then
go
a
all the way
3.
towards CT to make that space and just cut off
Is it?
any
No,
kind
I'm too
of
high.
rotations or even early retakes from potentially
Just
full
bend
sets.
over a
So
little bit and then
I
turn
wonder
around.
if we will see JFT be able to do that because full sets have an answer. Because for me, I do feel like full
Oh
sets
my
might
God.
switch up their composition from what they
This
used
is
to
like
run in Thailand.
Fucking
from the
Zumba.
Yeah, it could very well be possible, right? But for JFT, you know, you
I can't turn further than here.
They do set their initiators well and everything, but
Oh, I'm
with
scared.
Lo-Fi, I feel like you can't
You're
exactly
actually not
do
real.
that against full
There we
sets,
go.
who play rather differently. I like
There we
the
go.
Lines of full sets are like they're
Oh, that
pretty
took a lot
hefty
from me
with
'cause I'm scared of
Sushi
heights.
Boys at the helm, right? But again,
Alright.
JFT,
Jay, it's not even a meter high.
Huh?
I have been, don't get me wrong, I have been very impressed by this team, but it's that inexperience
Oh.
that I have to bring up, right?
Of
Especially
course
since
you come
Full
back.
Sense, you know, just
Right
one
then,
player alone
Michaela.
can actually, you know, account for the experience
That's
you know,
fucked.
can out-experience
That's
of the
hater
players on
energy.
JFT. So
That you've come back
I
right
don't know
then.
here, Dax. It's looking really tough, especially since JFT didn't pull through, you know, on that second half on the first map.
No, I completely agree with you. If you think about
Yeah, that's the
JFT
jersey.
as a
I'll
full
bug it
hand,
after
right,
that.
just
That
a
was so
single
much core
finger
strength. I don't have
is
enough core for
enough
that.
for full sense to effectively match the experience. And don't get me wrong, JFT, we've seen their growth. It's such a big stark difference from what our OCE casters have been telling us about JFT's run within Split 2 there, and what we've seen right now. There's maturity, we've seen growth, we've seen how they've been adjusting, and there was a little bit of hesitancy kinda at the start of map number 1. It faded on away. It was just those micro mistakes that really cost them there. And I'm gonna give it really to, I believe, Coach Long alongside Tisoy there as their support staff. They've really helped out JFT iron out some of the kinks that we've seen. And Full Sense, on the other hand, well, it just need to keep the cleanliness coming into this one. The one concern we have for Full Sense are closing out these games. And now, effectively, Mika, the second halves for the first 2 maps are where you're supposed to be strongest at. Will that help Full Sense finish off the job here? Well, we'll find out very soon.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing with Full Sense, right? They kind of,
all my friends.
when they lose steam, it gets really bad, and it's like you're wondering, like, hey, how can they get back up? But
hello, Danny.
When
Danny, can you see the coin?
They can really steamroll any team that's in front of them, especially when you get
Where is Teletubby? I don't know.
When you get John Olsen started. However, you do see those rounds where they can be really 50-50, even up against teams that you wouldn't expect it to be. Like, for example, we have to bring up that icebox against
Pokemon Go time,
right? So there are still some points of improvement for Full Sense that they do have to tighten up, and that's, I think, why a lot of us, especially on talent pool, were like saying, okay, Full Sense, they're heavy hitters, they can definitely pack quite the punch here.
No.
But can they win it all? And we all have question marks.
Yeah, I mean, Full Sense, they've always gotten to a high stage, but there's a reason right now we don't see these players in Pacific.
Yeah, maybe Danny
look to prove themselves right here, right now, even with the legacies that they've had. And remember, Mika, this is the other slot in the
Actually, don't worry, no, not at the moment, because I know that we're not doing anything on here at the moment.
Not only that, it's going to be at the Brit Ama Arena. It's going to be
took me a minute, but I just figured out how to clip and download on Twitch.
Here for Pacific Ascension, and I can't wait to see who's going to take it. But Full Sense right now.
Did you play the community day last week? No, I don't think so.
I am very,
or was it the ponies or whatever?
How differently
the Rapidash,
we're going to see our teams as we head into Lotus, especially since it's so much closer to that big stage, right?
Yeah, I did play that, Chad.
This is the biggest.
Hello, Sammy. How are you?
Ever had to experience, and you gotta hand it to them. It's quite impressive how they were able to just not back down from this challenge, right? You would have a lot of teams that would be like so shaky on their debut match in such a big tournament like this. And JFT came out swinging. Yeah, they didn't back down.
Yeah, and I like how Komodo mentioned it a while ago, where
did I just hear that Bella just let me download the Twitch
clip? They're gonna be able to effectively supersede.
Yeah.
I don't know if I didn't hear that, but wouldn't surprise me.
I just figured it out.
I'm good. How are you? I'm great, thank you. Good to see you back. You came back, literally, like, didn't see you at all, and then all of a sudden, Chels comes back, then you're back.
I really think the biggest change here is I'm expecting John Olsen to move away from the Rays that we saw, especially against that Sersha game.
I have 600 views,
and instead bring out the Neon, because
is that like
I said it a while ago, alongside Dambi, right?
Yeah.
John Olsen has been one of the scariest Neons in this tournament.
I love
always
the
come
way
back
he
for
plays
my wifey.
Neon. It's just so fun to watch. And, you can just tell when Neon makes sense with players, right? With their play style, and things just click. Anyway. You have some players where, okay, it may be a little bit awkward, perhaps they're better on the jet and everything, and then you have other players like John Olsen who take over the Neon, and it's like, this is how this agent is meant to be played. He's one of those players, especially since it works so well, for the style of Full Sense too, right?
Yeah.
I love also what you mentioned about how, like,
wait, I just realized it's Telly.
JFT could.
That's not Telly there.
I've really been impressed.
No, I know, but I just missed Telly. Like, I like just looked at him, but
perhaps not having the same competitive landscape.
That's gonna ruin my montage of us saying hi, Telly.
You do have teams that will actually, ramp it up once they get the chance, right? We do have some changes coming in as we head.
They should always have a face cam on
Telly. So it's going to be interesting to see how that chemistry will affect, or redo of the chemistry will affect these teams and how they're going to be playing and reading each other.
Yeah, and
I had a dream a couple nights ago that Pokemon was real. How fucking cool would that be? Just walking around and you go, fuck!
For this second
Pikachu.
I'm just thinking about.
I'd be mad.
Perhaps really for JFT.
I'd rather get swooped by like a Pidgey than
so
like a Magpie.
That they're one of the teams that
Take that
many didn't
any
really
day.
peg to make it from OCE, but they're here and coming into the big stage. They've been fearless. They've had so much showings of firepower.
Right, a big ass creature. Yeah, exactly.
You know that they can be one of the heavy hitters if things go right, but it's just these small mistakes that we see from them being capitalized on. And I remember early on Ascent, a few situations where someone just overheats, someone just mistimes the utility or decides to peek yet again, and Full Sense is a team that jumps on that very quickly because they're all independent thinkers that
can you not be rude, please?
With one another. That's really been one of the sayings
sorry, at work
in the
right
finals
now?
they had this interview where they basically trust one another, knowing exactly what to do. When we were
I'm sitting on the lounge, I've got my phone here, I've got my laptop out.
Look at the little...
It's always about the team for Full Sense.
The Care Bear.
In the past few years, it wasn't the case.
It's a Care Bear. It's so cute.
So imagine that, but as a Pokemon, and he just chills there.
Beyond, showing how strong they are with the duelist or how flexible PTC is. And it's such a different story right now for Full Sense.
Anyway, I didn't want to wake up.
They've always been
a
strong showing, but we
real.
haven't seen them be
a
complete package like this in so long.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and that's also part of the question marks that we have for this team, right? Look at that yawn from John Olsen, by the way. He's like, okay, that first map, like,
so that's getting a manicure.
Oh, come on, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Full Sense was sweating.
Kids looks bored.
Just
There's Telly.
With how JFT was running, you know, in that first half. But yeah, like Full Sense, once they do get the ball rolling, right? It's hard for them to stop, especially since these players, like
Telly heard me that time. I know it.
they are so consistent.
Yeah.
Like all of these players are capable of tremendous clutches, and you know that these guys can give multi-kills every single round, right? And you look at JFT and you look at how perhaps it was really Ikana that was just a true standout in the first map, right? We didn't exactly see, like, for example,
Winston
online as much as we would have liked to.
And Andy couldn't really hit the kill contracts with the
Say hello, Winston.
He wanted in the first place. But you say Ikana, and that's
He's so big now.
But it's the same story. They had this 18 kills. And then coming into the attacking side, there was only 3 unfortunate kills for Ikana. So
his eyes are so wide.
Once they get into the position where it's a lot tougher on the map, you gotta wonder what else do they have in the bag. And on the other hand, Full Sense, I'm looking at John Olsen.
That cat is so cute.
In the first kills first deaths ratio. Back on the attacking side, coming to the defense.
No, actually, stick to 0 builds.
All the time. 10 kills for him. PTC
Clarky's favorite dog,
kills.
yes.
Just it's Full Sense ramping up. The more Full Sense rounds are taken coming into these first
so
halves,
why are we fucking waiting here?
To try and get the sweep coming into the second.
I like these two,
and,
but
for now,
come on.
I just hope that Full Sense have
hello, Grundy.
Not to lose steam,
Grundy, what the fuck? I mean, am I allowed to swear on Twitch?
Them, like, that quickly, right? I feel like they need that double confirmation that they are that
How much
team.
more I want to glaze this Full
because
Sense
I feel
team? I don't fucking know. I haven't been listening. I've been playing
yesterday.
Pokemon
You had that double confirm, like, yes, we are Synprisa Gaming. We are here, and we will take
down permaban if you swear.
These most competitive ones.
I mean,
we need that for Full Sense because, like, against this guy's game, that wasn't really it, right? Yeah. I'm hoping that.
Have you been to a stream when I've been drinking?
Yeah, I have.
Every second word is a swear.
Can you actually do something entertaining? I'm bored. Guess what, Nada? I'm playing Pokemon Go, so I'm not bored. Suck shit. Sorry about that, but you did miss the modeling before, so that's on you.
Give him an op, give him the slides, give him a rifle. He will make wonders.
They showed everyone in chat his dumpy.
This one, a bit of an emergency.
I'm losing my dumpy.
Kiss instead will be the coach.
I'm really sad. I've lost 12 kilos. Thank you. Some of you went, 12 kilos. What were you before? But obviously 12 kilos heavier. But I'm losing my fucking dumpy because of it.
This means that we are going to see
like it sucks.
JFT,
I reckon if I lose another 12 kilos, I don't know where I'm gonna poo from. Like my ass is just gone.
They need to be able to block that out. They need to be able to go back to its start of the round. It's a new map.
Welcome to my life.
All that matters.
Bella, clip that.
Can that come out for a team that has a little bit of inexperience?
I'm already on it. Don't worry about me.
Can do it? Can JFT do it? We're gonna find out as we step into Lotus. And we're gonna toss it back to your casters, Conky and Komodo.
Now, clearly, in the
finally we're
match,
back in. Let's
there
go.
wasn't enough coming out from the JFT side, so they had to get in the big brain, the goat of the coach, Kiss, and we've got a trade out for Say here. So, mate, do you want to walk me through that just a little bit before we get into this map?
What?
Yeah, I think we don't go too deep into it, but we do know that there is just a coach to play a swap. So Kiss has gone into the coach area, and Long's coming in, or Say, as will be going in towards this game, which is going to be an interesting thing. Something I want to note as well, we saw big struggles from Boom on Lotus when they've not adopted to the new meta in switching to the Neon as opposed to the Raze, which is why Full Sense have swapped John Olsen from Raze in towards Neon on this. I like it. We also saw a lot from Lotus from Justice for Tomorrow against Rapid Lo-Fi. I thought Merza was a really pivotal player when it came to that series, so I'm hoping that he has a
Is Kiss the one that Telly was sitting at?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Really quiet one when you need him to be relied upon, but ultimately, you know, no double duelist here for JFT means they can try a little bit of extra strategy and see how it goes. But for now, it's just a lean towards that.
He is
and Merza, I mean, one of the things that he was brilliant in the other day was finding this space lurking around the map, specifically around A. Dark covers can go down from Say, and then they can start to proceed into the A site.
Absolutely, they're going to go in nice and quick. Actually, no, cancel that. It'll be a little bit of an awkward approach, but then they'll reset and reconvene. And he's straight in there, trying to take this additional control. He's already got the back of sight, so they've cleaned out well. But on the back of that bruise, it is going to fade in just a second.
Double flank as well. Say has to be really careful.
Coachy, I don't know.
Absolutely. He's right in position, and this is going to be the potential opener. If he can get this initial pick, that's massive. Already taking down John Olsen. Merza finding another one in the process as well. Leviathan looking for the trade. Only does the damage onto one. So Say down, but traded out well. Is able to get at least one back as they move it towards the side here. But they have to continue to rush in. They're not quite onto the defuse just yet. Fox moves through, gets one, but Andy's still healthy. Andy's still with this frenzy. And the round will be secured, so okay, the trade isn't going to hurt them just yet. JFT on the board with the pistol.
Yeah, you throw your mind back over towards Ascent.
An interesting choice for them to have two smokes on this map, but it's also not a bad choice.
Around on that defensive side, switching it up here, and there's immediately the same kind of game plan employed.
Well, they've got a clove, so even if the Omen dies and the clove dies, they can keep smoking.
To rotate in, get a plant, clear the site, get deep first.
It's going to be good for them on defense because they can smoke off every site.
Because if you flip it over, Full Sense, Mitch, they're going to be loving a structured retake into this map.
Absolutely. Works out super well for
them. People don't like smoking anymore anyway.
Lean into a little bit of extra confidence, but right now, they just want to make sure they connect with this next round. They can't let...
Can we get a ban on Jay?
The pain, the force of that...
Love the space though. The Full Sense have again gathered over towards Mound.
They play Clove as a second duelist, right?
Nice and early to contest against an A-sided hit. Already 3 players here.
Yep, I'm a Clove main, so yes. She can pretty much double his boat.
Can we get a mute on the host?
It's going to be a tough one for them to get this spike planted. Get the flash out or he's sliding in. John Olsen does get the trade, which is pretty massive from them.
Oh no, boys! Awareness, awareness, headphones!
Oh my god, the right clicks are absolutely perfect. Now he's picked up a Vandal running inside the tree, and he's just going to get swung in. Leviathan kicking and screaming.
Hello, it's Kib, how are you?
In towards it, but that relay bolt from John Olsen was perfection.
I mean, the brilliance from them as well, just to recognize once they've got mound control, let's quickly skedaddle back over towards the A site and actually contest JFT before they even get the plant down, right? You've got John Olsen who can throw in those relay bolts to buy time for his team to get in, and then when you've got stunned opponents and they're in a dark cover, they're not expecting you to just push in like that. That's really rough for JFT, but for Full Sense, I mean, we want to see them destroying this series, right? If they want to get into that grand final against, or alpha final against SPG.
Were they like stunned or something there?
Such a strong and fierce opponent playing really sort of.
They did get stunned, but it was more they just didn't know he was in the smoke.
So yeah, they need to just lean into this confidence.
And no one was watching that direction.
Yeah.
That's where they went wrong.
Brought through here on Lotus as straight away, John Olsen and Say, I'm going to go down.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, more damage around the mound at the moment. It's just absolutely a destruction of these pistols for JFT, which is fine. You know, at the end of the day, Mitch, it is pistols as the final kills back from Sushi Boys. But just the reactiveness of approach from Full Sense, right? On the back of the turret, you've got the alarm bot there as well, but you've got the shots to come out, the fault line, and the grav well. The combinations for Full Sense is what we're going to have to see, because one of the biggest differences that we're going to see where both teams run the Omens, PDC on the Astra versus Merza on the Clove, you have to be a little bit more autonomous as Merza to find the space yourself, but for PDC, he can
I wonder if they had this planned, like with saying Kiss.
That I love the way that they actually adopted, because PDC, the difference in the KO, where he's
what was Matt 1 score? 13-8.
Amongst the fight, he goes for generally more of a laid-back approach when it comes to this map, and I think for Full Sense, he needs to be a little bit more laid-back.
Absolutely, now straight in. So they're going to change this pace right off the rip. John Olsen up already nice and close. Does manage to get away from there as well, so it's going to be okay. The high gear gets him in and out at the same time. because so much info was spotted off the back of that start from Akana.
There.
Oh, will it settle down completely though? Because once again, mountain control over for full sense, but shot through the dark cover. Akana's gone.
Really rough. Just straight from the stairs, head ripped off, already at a disadvantage. John also walking straight in. This is the thing.
Froza, this full sense org has one hurricane barrel.
Yeah. Walking straight on in. Two members
once, wasn't it?
Say and Andy all the way back at Mount, and they're both taken down. And man, a start like this from full sense makes me already almost want to call GG.
I mean, when you're taking space around both sides of the map as well, right? Complete mount control up through the guts of B. You're getting some info, you're not getting some info, you're changing it. Just a gap in the dark cover as well. You're not letting JFT coordinate with themselves in how to adapt immediately because they're dying left, right, and center. They're not able to situate their own utility to get out. Mirza, this is a very big punishment onto him for something that was very
They need to get as many attacks as they, like as many rounds as they can on attack anyway. They don't have any Senti on their team.
Compare that against how Prodigy was playing as well, getting into the duels. Getting all these smokes on out, you just can't contest against this haste from
defense, like a Cypher or a Killjoy.
Trying to be quick, but again, you're exactly right. Just denying that position, they can't find anything. So on this eco, a little bit of a trying to keep onto something, but pop high gear again to get out.
So we need to get as many rounds on attack as possible, because defense is going to be a lot harder.
Could pop the overdrive actually if they wanted to settle down for a second and then go in together. It's one of these scenarios again for full sense though, Mitch, where they've got 3 players at the correct site because they've got this mound control and they've got the turret watching B. So they've covered every single base around the map.
Yeah, stranglehold, like a complete choke off, right? You know, you get this advantage, but where the rest of the map is open, full sense they'll take territory.
Right there.
Mind a bit of a split into B here at the moment as well, and then take complete control, set up for the post plant. They've already lost John Olsen's way into the site.
Pop the overdrive as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Spike planted.
Okay, what's this play going to look like? Pick up from Ramen. Looking like they're getting back into the map so far. Leviathan
Yummy Ramen.
Out by the Nightfall. But he pops the paranoia in there. Ramen is going to get hard cleared by the position, but Say's actually able to find one in the process. So they're going to survive for a little longer. Still the advantage, 4 versus 2, but the weapons are there for PTC.
Andy's got to get it going.
Going to make it really, really tough. Sushi Boys drops Andy. That's a pivotal member going down here. Looking for a second. He'll get it, but Akana will be able to get the trade. But onto this fight diffuser is PTC. He will swing off. Oh, jeez, my word.
Nice.
And there from PTC on to Say, but luckily Akana can get the trade. JFT, they can breathe a sigh of relief for just a moment.
Massive scrap battle, though, in the B site, right? You've got John Olsen, who loses his life early. You've got Andy to lead the charge in towards the B
Who's your
site.
fave agent to play?
Gets down, you then have the flank, so it's a really good to not only push up towards the heavens, but to also wrap around as well. If that actually doesn't come out from Say, I don't think that round goes to JFT because they don't have a priority focus on making sure that Sushi Boys' flank isn't coming through.
Sova, yes, autocorrect. Autocorrect, sorry.
As I said, now at least breathe a little. So there is still going to be that full control though from full
Bitches love Sova. I made a rap about it, but someone took it.
Instead.
Sova, yes.
A different look to it, where mount control is no longer established for full sense, but they do actually have a bit of a backup strategy over there with PDC. Got some.
It was lagging. It was lagging.
They can stall for
autocorrect.
Time here together. And they even managed to find the open, and that's the lockdown available.
Absolutely, that put a lot of utility into this as well. I think that was the metal going in, making them a little bit uncomfortable. But Sushi Boys has already found 2 in the process, and you know they get in kind of halfway, and then they have to pull out straight away.
There's great leaning around the map from full sense, man. Like, when they're not getting mount control, they're getting rubble control, immediately stepping in front of all the utility that starts to come down onto the site, punishing Say with Shroud of Step going in. This is a very well coordinated full sense in how they're mounting their retakes and how they're gathering control around the map, just like they did on Ascent. It was brilliant from them.
Poking their head in now. Turret information given, Mirza. Sort of show his hand for a brief second, but again, look at the hesitation. They're so scared that if flank's going to come in, they know there's 2 members on towards the site. B's locked down. They've already isolated all of these choke points. Full sense.
Tilted towers.
20 seconds to go. How are you getting back in towards this seaside at the moment? Yeah, Moza has 2 smokes. Ramen has.
They're not going to have the time for this. I think they might just save.
You're not bullying your way in when you've got no control into the site.
Oh man, it's a shame, isn't it?
Wrong game.
Yeah, not really going to go for it at all, and in such an awkward position to save too, because I think Sushi Boys, he was so confident after the previous, he can even potentially look for the ace, but no. He'll get 3, that's still pretty solid. Ramen and Akana do get 1 back, but Ramen is the only one to live away in that round right now, and just how quickly most of these rounds have gone. You know, that one kind of turned on its head a little bit, but ended in a standstill for so long.
I mean, the difference in saving 3 guns into this next round as well, you would have been able to back it up for a pretty strong buy. So really heads-up play from Sushi Boys at the end there to hunt for the frags, to swing open the door as well. Not only a full sense gathering control around the map, but they're making sure that they are
fucking
pushing JFT into uncomfortable scenarios. No overdrive to play here, so it's a haphazard buy, relying on potential opener to get in for a retake. He is absent, it's just a turret.
Straight in this time. The confidence that they've got on this eco, already taking control of Breakable. Happy to get into his position. Spike is going to be planted now, but the paranoia comes out very, very quickly. Andy will be able to find the one. Let's try and swap it out. Not going to be able to find the weapon, though, on the other side. It's awkward here.
Merzer is watching flank as well, but you've got to set up towards this lockdown now.
They can just buy time here. They don't have to go in for it. Ramen's position is absolutely fantastic.
It's always just so intense watching this.
I don't know how far he's going to be able to go in towards this position. Does he just
relax for a bit?
Or does he hold off for a little longer? Rolling Thunder also behind as well.
Yes, fuck
exactly
yeah.
Right, they're onto it, but he's been denied. Taken off it, but in the process, PTC find another couple, and that's actually going to be another Rolling Thunder to go out. The contesting one inside the smoke, inside the positioners. Kill! Going the way of Mirza. They do get another one here inside the scrap JFT. It seems like these kind of really brawly duels is what's taking their advantage this way now.
Backwards and forwards game plan.
Bitches
Like,
love
you're taking
Mirza.
heaven
You can
space,
do it
you're
like
losing over
most
towards
words.
ceiling space where the lockdown is, but you're giving a bit of respect to it as well. Great play from Andy to not only just find the kill in towards the breakable door room, but also to just stay there and hold his teammates' hands when the defuse then starts to come through with the cosmic divide, obscuring all that audio. You're pushing in together as a swinging unit to just make sure you get the round. And you invest the Rolling Thunders, but for JFT, I mean, they definitely need these rounds. They desperately need the chink in the economy that Full Sense has.
Yeah. They just do love boba.
Look at this one, also the complete shift up onto that Neon operator that we saw do so much damage earlier in the competition, because you just don't expect it, right? You don't expect a deep line to be taken that early, especially not having the support from Sushi Boys.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything, but Say is dying.
Say.
Like
kind of immediately. I mean, you're looking for that kink in the economy, you're looking for the breaking of the armors, you're looking for the off-put of positions, and you do have Mirza still with those ruses, yeah, for sure. Immediately, again, I mean, you've got the read, Full Sense. It's coming to see.
Absolutely. They've managed to at least reposition John Olsen, because now it's such an awkward line to try and hold.
Yes.
Was a lucky whiff.
A couple of shots he's traded. Andy gets one, but there is going to be the not dead yet to come out too from Mirza. Picks up another.
Nice
That's going to let him be back alive. 3 versus 2, still awkward. PTC, he's done so much damage. It's going to be onto Ramen to try and find him here, and he will be able to. Ramen needs to find more, and he gets another. This is the impact that we're looking for from this man, the bowl of noodles. He's making it all work here, but Leviathan's positioning. It could be overlooked, Komodo. They do tap out of the spike. They should be surely aware of it. They're going to be looking. Is it going to be the swing from Ramen? The shrouded step goes out. He's going to try and get off this position. He's looking for the clear. They're both so low. They're both just a gentle breeze away from dying. But it's going to be Leviathan again from the depths of the ocean. He will strike when his team needs him, when he is called upon.
And he has had such a great showing so far in a lot of these clutch attempts to be able to try and get them over the line. But when you need him to come through to bring a little bit of the stability, I mean, a 1 versus 2 against those players that are still alive on the chaos that began in the beginning of this round again, right? Full Sense have the right equipment on this C site. They have the right numbers layered down here, but for JFT to just balls to the wall, go in towards the site, play in amongst the scrap because Mirza has the not dead yet. Leviathan keeping cool, calm, and collected. Full Sense now trying to gather at least the 6th round on the board.
Into position again. It's this quick approach. Seems to be the response that's been working out for JFT.
3.5k. Please tell me that's not dollars.
Against them, but they're just going to be making very, very sure
Please
that
tell me
they're
that's
not
like
getting tucked
Monopoly
away
money or
through these
something, or
smokes.
Twitch currency.
Oh, you know what's sad? Like, I have 2 accounts that have skins. Like, my other account is about $900. So, like, all up, it's not looking good.
Definitely an avenue to overwhelm JFT. I mean, push for those retakes if you want.
Skins make you better.
Again, but numbers are here for Full Sense. Stolen utility though.
Yes. Skins equals wins.
Yes. Finger him, Andy. Look at Andy. Finger blasting. What is this thing?
He's still alive, Komodo now.
That's exactly what they needed.
Sushi Boys has the operator. He's so far away. Andy does have the spike in hand, in tow. He should be able to find the position here. But where's he going to go? He's going to drop back in, try and pick up a Vandal here. There's plenty of time to set this one down, but he's so nervous, so cautious. Sushi Boy's in the clutch.
We've seen Sushi Boys gather mound control a lot. Usually lent over towards C, so you'd be expecting him to come from that side.
He's just faking it to see if he's going to push out.
Andy's so
try to catch him off guard.
This is the thing, isn't it? You can either set yourself up for success or lead yourself to failure. And now Sushi Boy's going to creep around this line. Andy just has to make sure he sets his focus in the right position. He's going to look to clear this round onto the line. Giving the information away, and Sushi Boys can hit the shot. Oh man, you feel for Andy in that moment. You feel for JFT, who did everything right. They felt like they had all of the ingredients in the pot, but unfortunately, they left the stove on for a little bit too long and got cooked.
Yeah, and it's a burning taste that remains as well for JFT when you consider that 2 of these rounds have gone down to the wire in what you might think is an advantage scenario, right? 1 versus 2, they drop against Leviathan. Absolute menace that Andy is running around this A site at the moment, but when it comes down to that 1 versus 1, just to swing out into a dry line, held by the operator of Sushi Boys, and I would be expecting a pause to come through if you're JFT, you know, on the back of this one. I think they really need to have a discussion on just how to kind of get back onto this attacking side.
Yeah, man.
They really need to get these next 3 rounds on attack.
For JFT in this position, I suppose, you know, putting one of their impact players into the coach role definitely is something you don't want to be dealing with, but it is what it is, and, you know, they're at least putting a couple of rounds up on the board.
Taste the burn in my mouth.
Changed from Full Sense, actually.
My throat got fucking destroyed from vodka orange. There's too much in my life, and when I'd go to Macca's and get an orange juice, I'd taste vodka.
Accordingly. You've got this still remaining.
Yeah, I don't drink orange juice unless it's with vodka, because I do the same. You can just taste the vodka.
In front of too often, right? The standard set of utility when you're throwing out a haunt, when you're putting out prowlers and such.
Happy to get out now, popping the nebula, giving themselves the space, leaning around for the rotation. But again, you know, just how Full Sense have been so quick to get into these extremities, Komodo. You know, JFT is still on the back foot.
Deadly, plenty of time.
Yeah. They do wait out the smokes though, so they can get a couple of forward spacing in towards
the Say Kiss thing is like throwing me
over towards here. You have to be careful of that door opening up again because you've got no idea what's happening around the B side of the map.
Say
you
is
don't
the
know
sub.
yourselves if you've lost control of A lobby as well.
The Prowler already destroyed too. Leviathan here.
Oh, man.
30 seconds left.
The timing on these smokes from Full Sense has been impeccable. Stalling upon stalling every single time.
Kiss looked very down, but yeah, I don't know.
Be all that reliance on Andy with the Vandal here. Leviathan is going to be tagged up by the metal. It's Andy to find that frag.
Andy and his ones.
They're still going to get this spike planted. Fox is in position as well from the waterfall, but Andy does get another. But again, they've got to make sure they take down Fox because look at this work that the man is doing, and John Olsen's here. He's bought him enough time. But Mirza won't let him overheat, won't let him take too much. Fox down to 13 points of HP, looking to pick up the operator here. This should be around going the way of JFT, but again, you know, Sushi Boys, the impact on these retakes, he's been so far across the other side of the map, but always shows up on time. Never late, never tardy.
No.
He's in position. Fox holds the line, and so low, but still secured. Mirza goes for it, goes for the lead. Doesn't know that Fox is 13 HP, but he's done it again. The big man on the breach.
Don't peek at Mirza,
he's
no.
Sharp, he's handsome, and he's got a 4K to close out another round for Full Sense.
These rounds are getting to the wire so many times. 1v1s, 1v2s, and 2v2s that are just slipping by the wayside for JFT. The weaponry and the possession of them as well at the end there. A Guardian and an Outlaw for Arcana pulling out utility. The wrong timing straight into the barrel of that operator as well. I mean, you're not leaving yourself much breathing room when you have 20 seconds before you go for an execute, when you've got the fast rotations available as well from John Olsen on the Neon, where he sprints on over, and he does manage to catch a frag in amongst the mix too. Really well played and coordinated once more from Full Sense, who is absolutely destructive on these retakes.
Just Fox, the impact that he's been having in this series. And look at the pace pickup now, Komodo. Straight through mid, straight through C, all this control. And they're going to hear the orb immediately already. You can tell that PTC wants to pop straight through this dark cover, but instead, they're going to hit the side. They're going to take that little bit of position.
Man.
But it's not going to matter when PTC's got the aim. He's clicking the heads. Andy, Ramen, 2 impact members already down for the count.
The whole of Full Sense squads here as well. Rolling Thunder, Cosmic Divide available, a counter Nightfall for sure. So you can afford to wait that out.
Such a big investment here as well from Arcana, you know, in this low position. It is only round 11. They've still got another round to play with. And look at how close they are up and towards position. The Seize is good. Does it hold them for long enough, though? I don't know, because that Rolling Thunder might just be enough time for them to hold on. Say, has let 1, 2, and 3 through.
Say!
The relied upon. He looks into the face of adversity,
Last
doesn't get
round
shaken,
in
What
doesn't
the
get stunned,
fuck?
and instead holds his nerve and will take the round for
Okay, he's
JFT
alright.
when they never should have found it.
Holy
There's a reason
shit!
why Omen is cloaked in mystery and the
That's
lore
some
of Valorant
hella
as well,
good
because
trigger
he just
discipline
lurks
right
in the
there.
shadows, lurks from beyond and finds you, absolutely pulling you under. They don't even clear him through the corner of the smoke, and he just absolutely underpins him with 4 kills at the back of it. Finally, an answer back from JFT when they get into a post-plant scenario. But my oh my, the difference
Jay,
that it
what's
could have
trigger
been if the
discipline?
rounds went JFT's way, that has
Oh
to
yeah,
propel
wait, Jay,
them
what's trigger
in towards
discipline?
this last round to gather a fifth.
It's not different though, Komodo. Look at John Olsen. He's hungry. He's out for blood now after that previous round. They will go 1 for 1. It's not too bad. This time that it's Neon for Neon, which definitely changes up the pace here because look at PTC. He wants to actually lurking towards this Nebula, but they're inside it. They're ready for it. Mirza going to be able to find him. So Leviathan has to be super careful. Obviously, it's just the Sheriffs though left now, right? There's no weapons dropping.
Yeah.
They're going to defend those.
And they're holding it nice to JFT. A position not left unchecked. Really great patience. Just how close a testament to these rounds.
The
How they've
guys,
been
there's no
finishing like
Jay,
1
so
or 2
Chelsea's
alive.
gonna now
Economy a
host.
fickle thing for full sense. Now, finally at the ending
It's
stretch
alright.
of
We
this
don't need Jay
first
because
half,
JFT wins this
gets the
round.
better of them.
They're on save round. 2
How far up is
sheriffs.
the position they can get. This is the thing though, the choke point. Either side, Sushi boys. I was going to say narrowly missed a couple of shots, but that's
Who's
not
currently the
exactly
MVP?
right because Fox has found the frag, but they've destroyed the lockdown.
Who's currently
Fox now in the
most
1v2
important
has a
player
long
for
way to go.
JFT?
Spike
Would
still
you
yet
say?
to be planted.
Both the smokers, Mitch, Mirza does have the not dead yet as well when they look to establish the
30
I don't have the
time is
spike.
actually of the essence. The spike needs to not only just be retrieved, but now the Fox is here, he can throw a spatter in the works.
They've just got to hold together.
Aren't they
Hand in
attacking? Don't they
hand.
need the
They've
spike?
got the info for free.
Yeah, like no one was holding it. It
Definitely
was
a
just
lucky
on the ground.
situation for them to be found in 15 seconds.
He
Still
needs
need
a
to get
gun.
that spike planted. Absolutely. He's going to be able to find one too.
10 seconds left. Spike planted.
Spike down. Control. Looking to be found.
Come back.
And it will be
They just need to play this
You
smart.
don't even
Omen
need
needs to push.
to
Clove
overdo
needs
that
to
one, to
stay
overdo
alive.
that one.
Yep. Up.
It's just the fundamentals,
Yep.
just the
Nice.
basics. And it's enough for Mirza to secure the 3K.
Jay, what's trigger discipline?
JFT, look, they've
What's
got a
up,
long way to
Tave?
go,
Huh?
Komodo, but
What's
they're
what?
in this just still.
Trigger discipline.
I mean, I do want to
Trigger
highlight a
discipline.
throwback towards
Not
that
wasting
first
all your
map,
bullets, I'm
right?
guessing?
It was pretty nil from JFT on the attacking side of Ascent. Only the single round before the map was
You're
finished. It was
adorable, Jay.
dominance
Yes,
from
I
Full
do,
Sense on that
Tate. Did you
defensive
just knock
side.
at my
Their
door?
reads, their rotations, the space that they're gathering around the map so far has been absolutely gorgeous. And now coming in towards this best of 3 that is their 3rd one for the tournament as well. Are they going to be able to just have a
Wait,
massive
Jay, don't give away
continuation
address.
Oh,
of
this is
their
ages ago.
successive
Righto.
adventures? They
Been a
do
journey
have the
for them.
lead,
Nah,
of
some
course,
kids
still.
just knocked at my door.
Absolutely.
And
You know, they've had a lot
"Oh, there's
of
kids at the
fun
door."
in this
I'm
competition
like,
so
"Open the
far,
door,
Full
man."
Sense. But it just seems like business as usual for them, I
Why
suppose.
do you open the
The thing
door?
is,
You
about
live in
Tide
West
team, right,
Melbourne.
we
You
talk
know
about
not to
them
open the door, you
such
idiot.
a level of
What?
confidence, but if they lose that, if they
People
throw that to
scared
the
of me.
side,
You don't
they can
open
get a
the-
little bit nervous. They can start to choke, can start to throw.
You don't
The
open the
exact
door
same
on
What is
could
your
be
diss
said
door?
for the Aussie side. Similar
JFT.
tendencies, similar position. We know how good they can be. We know how sharp they can be. But even with a slight
they're little kids.
disadvantage,
One of
they
them had a
are putting in the
basketball
work. They're not rolling
and
over
I think
and giving it
their
all to Full
basketball must
Sense.
have went in,
Who again, you know, we're only
after
one
something
map
like that.
away
They ran away.
for them
They
to
didn't run
take
away,
it to
they walked
Britama Arena to match up straight against SBG in the
Where I
upper
live is
finals.
dangerous. No, it's not, bro.
Yeah. I'm actually
Where
really
I
keen to see
live
how
was
the beginning
dangerous.
of this half is going to look
Right in the
for
middle of the
Full
city.
Sense if they themselves want to rely on
Nah,
these
West Melbourne's worse.
combination steady utility pieces to gather the mound control that they were doing on their defensive
West
side.
Melbourne's worse.
Because I feel
Mr.
like if
JFT.
they are able to just dispatch of these positions of JFT, if they're able to force them into a corner and make them fall back, that's where a lot of the strength is going to come from Full Sense, because JFT are playing with
So that
the
was
coach,
half,
right?
Matt?
It's,
Like,
it's
is
a
that
little
half
bit
or whatever?
untoward. You're not expecting this. There can always be a little bit of
Yeah, so it's
communication
halftime.
problems
So
as
we're
well.
going on defense,
There's a lot
which
of
is what's going to
pressures that you
be
can start to
harder
exploit
without any
in a
senties on the
situation, an
team.
unfortunate situation like this.
Pretty much going to have to
Do
rely
what
on
you
their
can.
smokes and
Play
aim.
with the cards that you're dealt. Don't want to fumble. But the round
Where is
The
Telly?
second
He's
round
with
of this
Coach
map.
Kiss.
will be able to turn the tides
In the
now.
corner.
Pistol,
Yeah.
so important for both these teams.
And the coin flip looking at the radar as well,
No.
right? JFT to gather some
Deadly, we are not.
established
Be
A mount,
positive.
A
My
rubble
DMs are
control,
off.
but it's
Yeah,
going to
you
be
have
the
to
flip
add me.
for Full Sense over to the C site. And I don't think Icana's going to be able to transition quick enough to make a challenge known over at that rotating door. So they might shift into a big retake for JFT, where you have invested into a lot of this utility to actually try
Jay
and
doesn't
mount
like
a
having
successful
his
retake.
DMs.
Ooh. At least
We
they're
don't
able to
know
find
why.
one. So whilst it will be the full retake on towards the C site, they've taken that less than 10 seconds. The rotation will take a bit, but they can do it with the advantage.
Jay, you're not the only one in that boat,
Also
you know?
have to clear all the spawn as well,
I
because
used
you
to
don't
send
actually know
everyone
if
to
there's
you
a straggler for full sense coming in towards the lurk of B. They've taken
that was you?
side control of gravel.
Oh, they've got to clear this, surely. They surely should have the information that Mirza would be able to send that back, but it's okay. They do get the trade out. Say gets another as well, so it's back to a 3-on-2. They do have that control to get back in towards the site. The momentum is behind them. But they can't overlook Fox inside this position of waterfall. They're going to get all the audio cues, all of that information as they start to flood in towards the site. Now going to get Bruce down. Dark cover as well. Straight in towards that defuse as well. Say's onto it. It's half tick. Sushi Boys will be able to find him, but Say, he's sticking it. He's sticking it. And will he be able to find it? He absolutely will.
We've done that.
Yes. As well with the back-to-back 3K. Pistol round goes the way of JFT, just like it did in the opening Komodo. But they have to now put the back-to-back and string these rounds together.
That's a funny one at the end of it as well, right? Because when you can praise full sense for gathering complete control of the site, yes, you do lose PDC overwards, but you take
$20.
the space, you start to take the control, you catch JFT off guard as John Olsen, but then stuck between a rock and a hard place to get back into the site. A disadvantageous scenario as well for that post for full sense. And I mean, another round, Mitch, where there's only one player alive at the end of it. I don't live there, Kay. Go for the force, so it's just going to be a couple of
our recording studio.
But they're into B immediately.
Absolutely, the pressure that they must be feeling already, right? Say's just got the judge, they've got the site control, they can look to get the spike planted.
Delete that
they just
message.
need to make sure they retake this cleanly.
Deadly.
But it is just these lesser weapons.
Yeah, dude, like a while ago, we were doing...
utility to rely upon Bar Fox.
Who was I walking with? Was it...
Andy, he's made the call, he's made the momentum move.
Do you know what Mrs. JFT
John
looks
Olsen,
like?
one, not the second. Say, we'll find it. Akana, another. And now they're just
because
inside.
We were recording with a bunch of people as well,
coming
so
out from PTC here. He's a long way from home, and I don't think there's going to be enough. The grappler will be able to take them off, so it's okay. But they've got the info, they've got that fight, and it's going to be another round, back-to-back secured. They've broken the curse, 4 alive,
good shit.
And they will be going strong into this bonus.
So bonus,
emphasis on Mirza getting one
bonus
step closer to the not debt yet as
do you get bonus cash, or is it
sure that
like
if you
a
do
gun
go in
or
for a retake, you've got that availability. For full sense, though, exploiting already that this fast-paced nature is a little bit of a weakness for JFT, who have been with the weaponry scenarios at the moment.
Yeah,
a little bit more impactful, right? Player advantage in the pistol.
Yeah, this is going to be the round where if we're going to lose a round, it's going to be this one because they're going to just keep the guns from last round, and they've got worse guns.
Okay, so what does bonus
FS will have better guns.
Now for JFT.
Bonus just means they keep the guns from last round.
Full sense. You got Leviathan down, sure, with like, that's okay, whatever. But now another different look for full sense.
Yeah, we record videos and
and
do
once
all
more,
our photos
how
out
quick
there.
is John Olsen getting up?
Where
How quick is he supported by his team?
You know? If it's
the
not on this
was there
chair,
so early as well. Peppered them up. Hasn't done much. But at least they've taken tree control here. Mirza has to be ready. He's had a better game, better map this time round. But he's got a lot coming at him. He will get the info off the back. They want to.
It's out.
I mean,
out that way.
Running a fade, for example, they don't have that reconnaissance ability in towards the site, so they do have to fight with numbers together.
Oh, look at this. This is so scary. Straight inside the ruse, they're up so close. They've got to make sure they do all the right things, and that's John Olsen popping through, getting 2. Andy will be able to get the trade, will be able to get the response, but now he's jammed up against the back of a wall.
It's a flashy.
And he's going to be the team fully overwhelming, full sense in complete synergized form, making sure they peak it together and they win out the bonus.
No gaps for air at the moment when these rounds begin, is there? It's really quick from full sense to get into 3 different sites immediately.
That was like way more technical than the way I explained it, just like because we likely won't win this round. Yep.
But are we gonna get this play just still repeating itself for full sense? Are they just recognizing the fact that alright, now we've got the weaponry, we go in, we get these plants. You don't really have too much stall ability on the side of JFT with this Asian lineup, right? Your Caesars, they'll be disrespected. Your fault lines, they'll be disrespected. A-Rubble control yet again for full sense, and I mean, they will get pushed back, so actually a little bit of a different taste, a little small flavor change.
K-Man-M-K?
It's needed. You can't be drinking the same drink over and over again.
K-Man-M-K.
Gotta make sure you try out new things, Komodo.
It's so unfair, Chelsea. I know what's going on. Just came in, it's fine. Righto.
Absolutely.
That sounds rude.
It's all down to timing, though, Mitch.
Sounds like I'm being abrupt with you. Okay. Palindrome. My name is a palindrome.
Jay doesn't know what a palindrome is.
What the fuck is a palindrome? Sounds like something you buy from DJI.
It's gonna say, a little freeze in time, caught us both off guard because it's been such a fast map.
It's all a fake, though. Look at this, and it's hook, line, and sinker for JFT. Now they're actually realizing the fact that it's going to go back over towards the
okay.
Hold the line. It's John Olsen, and he misses the shot out on, and another post-plant scenario for full sense.
Yeah, they're going to set it up well. It's a really awkward one here because look at Ramen.
See, I'm not even a streamer. So what does that make
already
me?
In position, stays up close. This is doable potentially.
Like a race car.
Such a hard retake for JFT. You've got Say available with the smoke, but you've got no ultimates to rely upon getting into the back of this one. You got a full post play set up for full sense. You've still got those grab rolls available for PDC. You got a paranoia for Leviathan. You've also got Fox.
It's not you, it's me. I've heard that plenty of times.
Utility layering for full sense available.
Yeah, so well set. Look at that from Sushi Boys as well. Straight on towards the line. They put the fault line down, and he gets one back, but there's more to find. Ramen trying to get onto position again. They just keep this spike occupied. They just keep this going. Andy on the line, but he's taken out by Fox. Now they can get onto the defuse.
That's good.
Okay, that's not bad, but they're going to line up in the end.
What the fuck?
Situation, but Full Sense played that to absolute perfection, Komodo, and they can take a bow for their 9th round.
3 rounds in a row, the successiveness for Full Sense is getting into these sites really quickly on the back of John Olsen.
What did I do? Why is everyone bullying you?
Post point. Yes,
an easy
they
target.
didn't necessarily win all of the rounds, but this time, when they're met with a
they
bit
just
of
all
a
secretly
challenge,
love me,
they
being
change
game,
it up,
you know?
and they deploy a lurk in the mix, right?
Oh,
John
look, it's
Olsen,
so
nowhere near the
No.
party, being a distractor, so it's just showing the Full Sense. Not only are they recognizing how these rounds are supposed to be won, but they're, with the flip of a switch, able to change it up and keep JFT on their toes. And JFT now, they're in the scenario where this could peter away from them.
Yes.
Bad start.
Who was that one?
Sushi. So getting over the rubble, getting over the mound. John Olsen, those found Mercer in the exact same position as they try to kind of diversify their approach. Completely denied.
Don't know.
And Andy's stuck.
We haven't got any comms from it, but it just looks like Say
I would have
subbed
loved
in
to have
and
seen
Kiss
this
is trying to
aggression
catch
and mound on a rifle round from JFT just to get the space, right? To change it up, to not be one-dimensional in gathering a rubble, for example, time and time again.
You do
really take the
OCE
challenge
stuff,
for
or
them,
is
because
it,
in this sort of rounds, now you're giving a little bit more tape to Full Sense to adjust accordingly if they see this sort of same utility structure at the beginning of another round.
I think we've had K-Man on
creep out and see
JFT
if they can clear anything here. I think it's just a good time for JFT to have a bit of a conversation, right, about how they reapproach here. They're not going to be too upset with losing this one. Full Sense's approach.
The ego on Jay.
Shifted up well, I think. You know, the way that they're kind of trying to change up how they
that's
put
2
their
from
pace
2
out, put their
today.
feelers out each
If
round.
that's
It's
true,
hard to read for
because
JFT.
I've been calling
And there's so many of these rounds as
Banshee
well,
the whole
which are
time.
like
That's crazy.
winnable and doable and resettable too, with how the economy has gone and backwards.
Hey, K-Man, have you passed to the JFT?
Close JFT were in the previous
before?
round, Mitch. Just on the back
Or
of all these
any
kills,
type of JFT
everybody
games?
died at the end of it because Leviathan won the 1 versus 2 at
It's
the
not
end,
looking
but went up
good.
with Spike. So there's been so many different moments where JFT could have potentially gathered lead, could have gotten 1 step closer to a reset. They just haven't been able to hit the nail on the head yet.
Wait,
Such a strong team
you
in Full
sub
Sense, right? You know, we've
or
seen it
gift
throughout
a
this
sub?
competition
I
so
don't.
far in their opening
yeah,
maps.
fuck yeah, Beans.
And that's why they're put as, you
On
know,
this
one of the
channel,
stronger
yeah.
teams inside this competition as we know it.
I
And they
mean,
want
no, you
desperately,
didn't.
they want to
Sorry,
get back
sorry.
to that tier 1 stage, to VCT
Gifted.
Pacific.
Well, thank
but
you.
Again, JFT, they're within reach.
Shouldn't have, because I don't.
Oh, different
I
look
don't know
this
what I'm
time
doing.
for Full Sense. We're going to get that mound control established with
And
a little
you
bit
didn't
of
know their
territory
name.
on the lurking from Sushi Boys. But
I was
once more,
literally just talking
JFT fall
about
back to
them too.
comfortable scenarios, right? It's gathering the same main control. It's playing retake with Mirza. You're not running something like a Cypher for a full
thank you.
retake with protection back towards the
Yes, you
spawn
did,
of
Red Wolf.
Seaside. So Mirza does really
Oh,
just need
a
to give
shout
it
out in
completely
the
up
thing. Yeah,
and
shout
play
out, yeah.
the body
You didn't
when
get
he
that.
goes in for the retake with his team, because he's got that not dead
That's
yet.
because
Because
Oz was
that
like-
Fellas, did that
Nightfall,
not
they
me?
can
Can I shout out myself?
completely sacrifice him in a retake.
Planted.
No. You can shout out yourself
Such a
in a
tough
mirror.
retake. All coming through spawn as well, so it is going to be well read, I think, by Full Sense. They can slot back into their positions nicely now.
Let's see. You're going to have some good abilities come in. I can't have just dropped that Nightfall. Mirza, what do you got for us here with Ramen's utility to back you up?
Oh, John Olsen getting trapped away, but inside the waterfall, that's the Nightfall that you talk about, right? PTC does manage to find one in and amongst the chaos, though, and Fox now looking to peek forward. They've been thrown back completely inside spawn. Are they even wanting to take this at all? No, they don't want it. They don't want a single bar of it. And even crossing out through defender side of spawn is going to be challenging because you've got Leviathan there through the waterfall. The name
round
living up to the
corner.
virtue right now. Then
Crazy.
Fox peeks in. Yeah, I don't know. JFT, they pull the plug, but unfortunately they get sucked back down the drain anyway.
Full Sense just recognizing that it is going to be a full barrage coming out through spawn as well, right? They dodged the fault line that goes through Waterfall. It is spotted out that no one's actually coming there because John Olsen has the complete control. As soon as Andy is dispatched on the site, it's full focus on towards the spawn location, and it just really does shut JFT out. One-dimensional gameplay from JFT is not going to be a decisive factor in how you win these rounds against Full Sense. You have backup strategies upon backup strategies in the space that they gather completely around the map.
I forget, but it's like
they have
super
to almost
famous
play for overtime at this point, right? It would take a miracle to win out a round like this. They've got all the ultimates, but they have to invest them and take the risk in the overtime.
He's super famous.
I mean, he's respecting the smoke zone at the A side of things as the rest of the team goes in towards Mound.
Yeah, that's why I knew who he was.
Ramen finding John Olsen gives him a little bit of breath of fresh air.
The graphics that we're looking at.
JFT though, do they extend?
So
an overstep here would be detrimental in this round. Andy has popped the overdrive, so he kind of wants to.
All right, this is.
He's just not going to be able to.
Risk, isn't it? Yeah. You can just see that they're so tempted. Like, and now Andy's run out. He's all gone, out of steam, out of juice.
Hey. But the rifle should be retrievable a little bit later on in the piece, and you do have Rolling Thunder still with
I do know who Tens is.
That not dead yet. You can fashion a bit of a retake when you get the idea that things are going to tempt towards this A site for Full Sense. I just do wonder, how will you overwhelm the lockdown that Sushi Boys is going to get from this orb?
Jay, who's winning right now?
A different approach completely. All members snaking their way through mid and B. They're going to rush the whole way around because with 25 seconds, they're giving a lot of respect here, Full Sense. Now they got the info on the flank.
You're a better.
This is going to be an absolute brawl.
It's not sober. It's sober.
For JFT and the line out for PDC, but the trade switch, the trades are still here.
Absolutely, it's a big thing with the not dead yet, but now he has to get offensive. He has to get confident. They've got to clear Sushi Boys. They have to make sure they find this information, but the Prowler doesn't quite connect with it. 3 versus 3. Spike down. Nano Swarm utilized. Turret popped as well to give them the extra space. And there's that lockdown. They have to fight this Komodo. They have to go in and try to burn it down. But Fox's position is absolutely elite. What the flip from Andy. The twist on the head.
Yes.
Destroy the lockdown now. But are they going to be able to secure the frag? Yes, they will. How have they walked away with that? Andy, the wrist broken on the flick. The destruction of the lockdown and the retake. That's a round where we said a risky investment was necessary, but they managed to convert it, JFT, and they live on.
Opening kill in the very beginning, and you don't need to see the open A site for Full Sense. You don't need to see it broken down, right? So it is a free plant for them.
That's a good round. And wasted the Killjoy ult.
I'm looking at Sushi Boys. I'm thinking, all right, you're going to get the lockdown. You're going to set your team up for a post plant.
Yeah.
Take the space around the site and play protector. He's throwing the bloody kitchen sink at them, and they've just shattered it with a golden hammer in the round.
What is that?
In numbers, they fashion forward.
It's me tanning in Bali.
They stave off 12 for Full Sense, who do have another gun round just by merit of all these rounds in succession.
Jay, please don't get a 10 when you're in
Bali. Control again.
So bad.
Full Sense again, only one way away. We're taking it to 12. You're going to approach breakable this time.
Under your suit, are you going to wear the JFT jersey?
It's good damage. Ramen actually managing to clear John Olsen. That's a great win condition there. Sushi Boys.
That was such a good blind.
Yes, so much time, so much.
There we go.
Say gets 1 and 2. Ramen also able to secure another one, but PTC still alive, still in a clutch position. 1v4. Is able to secure one. Can get the spike and can get out of there as well. So that's going to be an A-site plant. He can set himself up for success as best as possible.
He's got 3 stars to be able to play with as well. So if he can isolate a couple of these jewels, might actually be able to win this one up for him. Where JFT are grouping together in numbers.
They can do different things.
Technically rely on Ramen's rolling.
So like he can use them to put smokes up, or like concuss them, like stun them, or like pull them off the spike.
Yeah. He might lock into something.
No.
Oh.
My word. What a moment that would have been for PTC, who has been fantastic throughout this competition as well, Komodo. His clutch potential has been perfect, him and alongside Leviathan. But it doesn't happen here.
This makes me so much more nervous.
And what's the money looking like?
Yeah, I've got like severe anxiety watching this shit.
He's always in the situation of helping his team, setting them up for success, whether it be fault lines and flashes or dizzies and moshes, clearing space for the squad, right? He's not generally the one that is in the full front focus. But when you put him in a situation like that, it certainly gets close to the tax that he has
that makes
in a roster
full sense.
such as this. I mean, there's a reason why you look towards him as being, the brains of the operation when it comes to this squad. Him and John Olsen, the oldest fellas,
you reckon we got that?
Been around for so long. You know, we were talking about it
Should
the
I
other
tell
day,
you? Yeah, I
right?
wanna see
John
Telly
Olsen,
doing
for
comms
example, is
here.
not really a player you would expect to be on a star
He goes,
duelist
just
role. You tend to see the old guard on these
build
IGL
to
roles
height.
to be able to make the decisions from all of the historical
Grab a heavy sniper,
information that they've been able to play on and just the
tilted,
experience.
200,
Yeah.
200
for
full
sure.
box, one pump.
You're exactly right. Put him on the Cypher, put him on the Killjoy, something like that. No,
Still
never mind. Put him on the Neon.
Kiss on his face cam. Yeah, it like
Reliability,
changes
'cause
weirdly.
I feel like, you know, obviously John Olsen's shown
Yeah, he
good
is
signs on the
pumpkin.
Jet over the period of time, but the Neon has really kind of
Bro's
worked out
waffling.
for him with these recent changes and the recent
Who, them?
kind of meta
Yeah, I
shift.
know.
It's really playing into his strengths.
Gold Spaz full box, 200. Yeah.
Yeah, just a bit of a pause, have a discussion at this point in time. I think
That
JFT
lady
having
loves her job, the
a
one
good
in the corner.
resurgence at the later stages of this half
Tell
is
you
a
what,
little bit concerning
wouldn't
for
mind
Full
it.
Sense now that a lot of these rounds are still
Probably
coming
can't
down to the
stand
wire
it.
in these 1vx scenarios in the remainder. But you're starting to feel like as Full
200
Sense
pump.
that the structured
200.
gameplay that they've been going with is now being a little bit contested.
They're
JFT
gonna
are
run it
starting to
down
gather some
C,
space
no
around the
cap.
map.
That's
They're
what I was
starting to
thinking.
isolate John Olsen, who's going in
They're
front
going to run
of the
down
team.
C. That's what I'm saying.
So I think you reel him in just a little bit as Full
I can
Sense.
see that happening.
And that's exactly what they're doing at the very beginning of this one. A little bit of a slower start.
Still keeping at the helm.
Yeah.
Over towards B. He popped the overdrive. He's been spotted.
Oh, no.
And he actually gets away with 1-2. That's massive from John Olsen.
Not the finger blast.
Talk about kind of keeping him on a little bit of a leash, but it's only for half a second as he's taken all control of that B site.
But it's all a fake, it's all a ruse, because the engagement over at the A site, it's not the eventual intention, but it does make things a lot easier for a retake scenario.
You thought he was going to clear that, didn't you? I thought he was going to turn on a dime and get on a swivel, but it just doesn't happen. It kind of does manage to get one, but I think this is just a save straight away. You can't get back into this one. You have to let Full Sense go to 12 and try fight the fight into overtime. But, you know, 3 rounds of difference, JFT. This is where the wheels might start to fall off. Full Sense looking strong into that round.
Well, at this point in time as well, Raman's holding that Rolling Thunder to the next series. He's had that for quite a while and just not opted for it in a scenario where you've got, you know, John Olsen running in towards the site and you've got the team to be following up behind him. Drop it early, drop it before the plant goes down. You've got a couple of your key players around the site already that can thrive in amongst it when your opponents are dazzled up.
That's what I'm saying.
You're exactly right. This is that save round. This is Full Sense finally meeting themselves on 12.
Alright, big clutch. Come on, boys.
The adaptability of Full Sense Komodo. Something we've
Fuck.
talked about. How they need to make sure they find it, need to make sure they secure it, and that's exactly what they've done here. They buy
Should have got you as
their
coach
time
in the
for
room
half
with
second.
Telly.
Don't make sure they send them out straight away. Johnson holds it for 5 more seconds, finds that B control, and able to turn the round on its head straight away.
I mean, I just want to highlight as well in this map that JFT has found both pistols. Yes, the second round in the first half went the other way. But, you know, majority of the rounds that you predicate on a pistol victory, we're seeing Full Sense run with these rifles. Really be clean with them.
Has Andy found that? This has happened again, though. He's popped the overdrive already, and he's keen to go for it this time. Will he be able to connect anything? No, Ethan. It's one, but Akana gets in the trade.
We got them good damage.
That's the information. They've got the advantage, and they maybe overheat just a little bit.
PDC has lately been able to clear this site, though. He can take a really forward line to take a challenge against Mirza when it might not be expected, but the gun is at least in possession. Mirza, he knows that this position is vulnerable. I expect PDC already here in the spawn. That's significant damage, though, Mitch.
Absolutely. Just the fact that they've been able to clear that frag is massive for them, allows them an opportunity to get back into this 3-on-3 because it's the last chance, the last opportunity, and Fox is already going to be able to find one. Drops the fault line too. The Rolling Thunder will come out from Raman. Does actually manage to catch Fox, but for how long? He's dropped back into tree. He's given himself this additional time. They've got the aftershock, but that's basically it. Now they have to try and pop these ruses, try and pop this position and get through. Mirza's going to be able to force his way in, but
they're going to have to go for it.
Nanos will be Sushi Boys going down and into this 1v1. How quickly is he going to be able to look at it? Not quickly enough. That's Fox, and he is the king in amongst the server right now. Win for Full Sense, and they are the second team to be going to Britama Arena facing off against SPG in that upper bracket final.
GG.
Yeah, really well done from them. I think the biggest credit is just how fluid
What's
they
he
were
sniffing?
around
What
the
the
maps
fuck
in
is that?
both of
Performance
them, right?
enhancing.
Finding the space time and time again. A gap to be exploited for JFT, which in the first series, I mean, we saw some weaknesses for JFT in that sort of scenario, but really just
So who do we go on to
excruciatingly
verse
highlighted
now?
a series
Do we
like
know
this
that?
where you've got just a different caliber of a beast that is Full Sense.
Absolutely. Full Sense is such a strong team. Individually, all
Winner
so
of next
sharp.
game.
And that's what I mean, right? When you're an Oceanic player, when you're sharp domestically and you can just basically walk and take every single aim duel, then you head up against
That's what I'm
Sushi Boys,
saying. He's
John
sniffing
Olsen,
something.
Leviathan, Fox. You know, every single person on the team deserves a mention in this run because they all had the impact that was what it was to not only take them through this series, but also take them into that upper bracket final as we know it. Because again, they are such a strong team. They've earned that spot. And for JFT, they just have to sort of take the L a little bit here, set the review up, and hopefully they can focus into their next series in the lower bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I was really excited to see if this series was going to be able to go to Sunset because it's a map that we haven't seen yet played for JFT. And of course, for Full Sense, we have seen it played, and it's one of those maps that, you know, is pretty decent for them, right? It's really nice. I think it would have been a cool sort of story map to finish this one off. But I've got to give credit where credit is due for Full Sense.
Still got.
I think
so who are the two teams that we
they
could
played
verse?
what was needed to be played in a map against JFT, who could show a little bit of resurgence here and there, but ultimately got shut down.
Absolutely. Adaptability. I keep repeating it. That's exactly what Full Sense have been able to do. But you guys don't want to hear about us anymore. We want to cheer on Full Sense. And to do that, we'll go over back to Mika and Dax.
Okay.
I beg to differ. I like hearing from Honky and Komodo quite a lot, but you know, congratulations to Full Sense. They continue their clean sweep here at VCT Ascension. For JFT, though, I feel like this was good considering they had, you know, a bit of an emergency. This wasn't exactly ideal from them. There were good ideas from JFT, but the execution, Dax, I feel like the aim is just so much more refined, crispier from Full Sense.
I mean, I think JFT has some really good aim. Many of the rounds coming into the first half was because of their willingness to push despite all the utility there from Full Sense. And it's more that utility that we saw from the likes of PTC and the rest that allowed them to have the advantage. PTC, by the way, first time we're seeing Astra here in Pacific
And is
Ascension.
that game tomorrow?
We heard it a while ago from the
I don't know their schedule.
It's be a little bit more laid back. PTC yet again going more of in a way a supporting role, right, to help out the team as much as he can. John also bringing out the neon, and he was so decisive coming into that second half to allow the faster plans to happen. Mika, once we got to Full Sense's attack,
tomorrow.
when they got the guns, they were just going.
I'm probably not
going
to
to incredible 4-round streak.
Watch
to
the
begin
next
with,
game.
put themselves a match
I might
point,
watch it in
and
bed.
you
I
can
gotta
see
go
it
to
here,
sleep because I gotta
multiple
work
post-plan scenarios, and they got around 66% of them anyway.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, especially towards the second half,
That's
right?
deadly.
I feel like JFT let some fights go too early, maybe. Like perhaps it was better not to engage. Perhaps it was strategy, but I kind of wish
I don't want to hear it.
They dared a bit more because the skill is there for JFT. Like Andy was looking a lot better, for example. Got some great flicks too, but I feel like they need to trust more, Dax, and they can win those fights if they just dare. If they just push a little bit. Even say if it's PTC on the other end and you're like a 3v1 and he manages to get 2.
Look, PTC just does it all. He can play anything. He can play
good
everything,
effort from the
and
boys.
He will do everything he can for your team. And Full Sense so happy to have that flexibility, allows them even more avenues. And you think about it, right? PTC and all of Full Sense, they don't have intel initiators coming into this one. They still are so confident that they can get in there and go for the control. But back to your point there, Mika, you could feel that there was that concern later on into the game for JFT, that their pushes were getting punished, like the overtime would fizzle out because Full Sense was waiting, and that hesitation, sure, but there's that fear also of the overheat that did cost them that first map. And right now, that's where the experience and the control of Full Sense really came to fruition.
Yeah, and this is where all of our questions were answered, right? You know, you had JFT with such an impressive debut, but how was it going to stand up against a much more experienced team, right? And we can see that there is potential there. There were some rounds, there were some incredible shots. Like Andy got some like really great, you know, flicks and everything, but it's just that, you know, the protocol, the playbook is just not yet that,
so I think we're done.
That stable for JFT. You know, maybe we're gonna get justice tomorrow, but for now, it's gonna be Full Sense continuing.
Maybe they'll get justice tomorrow. She keeps playing with the name. I love it.
We do have a bit of time, and you gotta give a shout out to Coach Say, Coach Long. That one play up on the heaven, right? Just waiting there. It was a great setup, I believe, also by Ikana with the utility to allow him to get there undetected. No one peeks him. The spray down, Konki going crazy. Coach, both, let's go. But unfortunately, it's not enough. The experience, it tells all here for full sense. And it's something JFT can really learn. Hopefully they can recuperate, wait on
Justice
for
today.
the
Yeah,
lower
that's what she
bracket
said
matchup,
yesterday.
because there's still a big chance. But man, that's Synprisa in full sense in the upper bracket. And truthfully, many eyes were on both of those teams. It's gonna look very exciting. Again, I want to see John Olsen, Dambi have that Neon showdown. That's looking pretty exciting in the near future.
It could very well be our grand finals, right?
Well
I mean,
done,
it
JFT,
could be, but it's going to be very, very exciting indeed. And
lower
congratulations
bracket
to Full Sense.
tomorrow.
We actually do have a Full Sense on standby. I believe it's going to be Leviathan, or Leviathan rather. Oh my gosh.
VCT Americas?
I have my head over there. I mean, it's kind of undeniable. I mean, they're a pretty good quote-unquote team, right? But we have Leviathan from Full Sense on standby. So let's bring him onto your screens for a very quick interview. Hello, Leviathan. Hello, Kriti.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Hello, everyone.
We have a couple of questions for you. My first question is actually, so on
We're
that
gonna
first
end,
map
guys.
in
I'm
Ascent, it was a
gonna
bit of a
wait.
slow
Oz, are you there?
start. Was it because the style took a bit of adjusting to? What was difficult about those first?
Send it over there.
ก็
Go say hello to
ขอแสดง
Chelsea.
ความยินดีด้วย
Came
นะ
in
ครับ
and
ที่ช
helped me
นะ
today.
คะแนน 2-0
Really
นะครับ
appreciate it if
ใน
you
แม
guys
ตช์แรก
go
เนี่ย
say hello.
แม้ว่า
follow.
ช่วงแรกเราจะมีการ
Thank you for coming in. We'll be here tomorrow again.
มันเป็นเพราะอะไร
Dual
เพราะสไตล์
streaming
การเล่นของ JFT หรือ
YouTube
เปล่า
and
มีเห
Twitch.
ตุผลอะไรมีสาเหตุอะไรบ้างไหมครั
You gotta
น่า
press
จะ
stop.
เป็นเพราะว่า
Thanks, Kevin.
สไตล์การเล่นของ
I gotta
ฝั่ง
press
ตรง
what?
ข้ามมากกว่าครับ เพราะว่าไม่ค่อยได้เจอสไตล์การ
Where
เล่
it
นแบ
says
บนี้ใน
where you
บ้าน
press
เรา
start, you press stop.
Yeah.
It's like it's mainly it's due
By the
to
way,
the play style of
This is
JFT
the first
because
series of the roster.
their play style are not
Yeah,
are so
I know.
rarely in our zone in APAC.
All right.